Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the club. Myself, John, JCC, and Miles are here. Rory is on his way. He thought it was a 2:30 kickoff today. We'll let him off with that because my head is also all over the place. I've seen the team news. I am worried. This could get very, very Lionel today. And this might be Erik Ten Hag's final match as Manchester United manager.
Sorry to just stop you for a second. When he said Lionel, the first person that came to my head was Richie.
This is going to get very Richie today.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I'll be dancing on the ceiling if we manage to win 3 points, though.
Boy, trust
To
me.
be fair, though, Ad, I think other fans will be as well. Like, I feel like Ten Hag's just on borrowed time. You boys have come dressed in black,
Yep.
like it's a funeral.
Yes.
Like, you got to be, you're in a bad position as a big club when other teams are like, oh, they've won today, that's good. Because I think it's like it keeps him in that job. You're Arsenal. I mean, you surely want Ten Hag there as long as possible.
Yeah, of course. I want him there as long as possible. That Harry Maguire goal during the midweek in the Europa League, Harry Maguire didn't get the memo.
I don't think that goal changed anything.
No, but he didn't get the memo, though.
I don't think that goal changed anything.
It puts
because you know what it was?
Extreme pressure on this match even more, though, Adam.
Yeah. But I mean, what I mean by that is I don't think us getting a draw is any different or felt any different to us losing the game. Like, the performance was damning.
Yeah.
Like, that was the main thing about it. Even if we scavved the win there, you still go, geez, this performance is horrendous.
Especially
and like one of the things with some of the bad results this season, Liverpool at home, Crystal Palace away, like Brighton even. There's been times where you go, you know what? Some of the performances in spells were okay, and you can kind of maybe see something kind of growing.
Yeah.
That performance against Porto, even going 2-0 up, it was horrendous.
Yeah,
it was actually horrendous. And there was it was a tale of two halves. In the first half, we had every man in the box at one point. 8 men in the box, plus Onana, that's 9. And they still looked like they had freedom everywhere.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, we had no one back. Like, it was just 2 passes and they were through. It was just so odd, the performance. And he's changed the centre-backs today. Lisandro Martinez isn't starting. Matic de Ligt isn't starting. Johnny Evans and Maguire are in. And he's made those changes, and it just feels like real odd changes because I don't feel the performances of Lisandro Martinez and de Ligt, whilst they were very bad midweek, I don't think their performances were really down to those two as individuals. I thought it was down to the setup. Like, if you look at the setup of Manchester United's team, the midfield, big gaps. It means that your defence is a bit exposed. And then you look at Diogo Dalot at left back, constantly going into midfield. Obviously, teams do that. It's not a new thing. But he doesn't transition into midfield. He stays there. So then when he stays in midfield and you've got Lisandro Martinez, de Ligt, and Mazraoui, they all have to shuffle across. And the gaps get bigger. And it's like, if we do that today, Evans and Maguire will look crap because they're going to get pulled out of shape. And if anything, I think they'll look worse because they're not as good as those other 2 players.
But I just want to ask you a quick question. You started Maguire and Evans today, yeah? And obviously he's looked at, you started de Ligt and Martinez midweek. You think he's thinking, I don't trust these 2 centre-backs from what he saw in the midweek? Or is he going for something just a bit more stable?
The performance midweek may be part of that. It also maybe take these lot out the firing line. But the manager has to realise that probably the performance was on him more so than the players because of the way we were set up. So
but de Ligt and Martinez, though, come on, like,
bro, genuinely,
they're not
look at
bad
the way,
centre backs.
No, they're not. They're very good centre backs, and it's the way we were set up was abysmal. I felt. Rory's here.
Yeah,
Oh, Raw?
mate, I'm listening to this. I'm finding it quite interesting. Is it not simply a case, Adam, that he's gone back to the tried and tested, his old guard?
But it's not. When you say tried and tested, all right, it's been tried, but has it really been tested, and is it really good enough? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think he knows what he gets. Whatever you think the limitations are, whatever Ten Hag may think the limitations are, he knows exactly what he gets from Harry Maguire. We know what Harry Maguire is capable of. We know what his limitations are. But what you also know is that certain things with Maguire will not be acceptable. And what we've seen from certainly De Ligt, like it wouldn't happen on Maguire's watch. Certain things. Look, I'm not a big. I'm not a defender of Maguire. Certainly not. But I'm also not as big a detractor as you are. Maguire is a better player than De Ligt at the moment.
I disagree.
I
Really?
disagree with that as well, was, man.
I don't.
You mean defensively, just an out and out defender or all-round player?
An
Because the
overall
ball-
contribution to the team.
I just
Just
think that-
overall contribution. I think that what happened with Van der Ven running through that Manchester United team, running through the heart of the team, the spine of the team, going for the jugular of the team. I think that Maguire potentially gets himself sent off in that situation. But what doesn't happen is Van der Ven doesn't get the freedom of Old Trafford charging towards a Stretford end with Maguire on the pitch.
We've seen Maguire have stinkers like that before.
Oh, no,
and on a regular
doubt,
basis.
no doubt. But not
and I
that.
think a lot of it, again, I don't rate Maguire, but a lot of it comes down to the setup. A lot of time as well. Like, your defenders want to be backs to goal, the possession in front of them, everything's ahead of them. They know what's going on. The amount of times in that second half, midweek, and we were down to 10 men, granted, but not for most of the game, they were just running towards their own goal. Like, literally just running towards. It's so difficult to defend that way.
Yeah.
Because then once you're facing your own goal and you got players running behind you, it's so easy for them to deceive you because you're looking at your own goal.
2 games in a row, wasn't it? Twente scored a goal like that. The geezer, their fullback, De Vrij, was it?
Yeah.
Their fullback, De Vrij, just sort of picks the ball up
ghosted in.
and just charges through the heart of the team. And I literally mean the heart of the team. Straight
That one was a little bit more understandable because Eriksen gave the ball away.
Yeah.
When you give the ball
you
away,
weren't in possession, yeah.
you expect players to maybe be out of position, but we've been set up and it's just
But what I thought
horrendous.
was terrible about it, even symbolically, Erik Ten Hag actually came out and said that doesn't happen again. That literally will not happen again. Like what we saw De Vrij do in that game, we watched him just go straight through the Manchester United team, pitiful challenges. It then happened again. And with the Van der Ven moment, so many players, probably starting with Rashford and ending with De Ligt. Everybody involved in that. Probably 5 players. Fernandes was near, didn't do enough.
You got
Nobody did enough.
Do you think we're being a bit disingenuous just by getting at the defence? Because the midfield, they've got no protection here. They've got no help in the midfield. Everybody's just
picking-
running.
the way we
Can't keep
set up-
picking Eriksen either.
last year we kind of went, is Casemiro finished? And it looked like that. The evidence kind of overwhelmingly, yes. But then you
Especially
think
the
about
Liverpool
it,
game
like
as
you
well.
play Ugarte in there, you play whoever in there, they look a shambles as well. Because they've got so many gaps to fill and they've got so many holes to fill. It's not good, man. The shape of the team.
It's funny you mentioned the midfield because I had a theory put to me yesterday, which I didn't really give too much credibility. But what do you think to this? This was said to me yesterday by a Manchester United fan who goes on a fairly regular basis. Harjot, Talksport, shout out. He said to me that the biggest problem has been Mason Mount. You know how everybody focuses on the Anthony signing? And
It's the biggest problem, I think, it's unfair.
The worst, that signing has caused the most amount of trouble.
I think, especially when you look at PSR nowadays and how important getting signings right is. Because if you don't, you're hampered for a few years.
Yeah.
I think the Mason Mount one, I think the Anthony one, and I think Casemiro, although he had a good season the first season he was here, that's 200 million.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Like, so that's 200 million.
Wow.
So to say Mason Mount's like the biggest issue, I don't think that's true.
But you know
But
how
you look
we
at the
focus
signing
on
and
Anthony
it's,
though. Like
it's
Anthony
damning.
gets pelters. We'll always talk about Anthony. You and I have done a fair few videos where we speak about Anthony, and even away from Manchester United, we actually talk about it in more of a worst ever Premier League signings. Anthony's name gets mentioned.
100%.
Hard yesterday was saying to me, the Mount one has caused the most amount of problems because we signed him for a huge amount of money. He had only a year left on his contract. He was injured the year that we signed him. It was a terrible signing then. How good was he anyway?
I agree with all of that, apart from the bit he's caused us the most problems, because I don't know what problems come out
I
of
think
that.
the suggestion would be that if he'd been the midfielder that you should have signed that summer,
Yeah.
if he'd been the player that he was in 2021 that you bought, your whole team would be everything would be
That
different.
summer, we needed to go and get the DM. and we went and got him. Like,
Yeah.
we needed to get a DM. Instead, we got someone
But at
that
the
plays
point,
in our best player's
Casemiro.
position, Bruno's
Nobody
position.
could have predicted Casemiro's drop off, or maybe they could have done and should have done. And
Well, maybe that's why Real Madrid sold him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Real Madrid get rid
And
of him.
Varane as well. And that's why
Although
they
Real Madrid also got rid of Odegaard. So,
And they also signed Eden Hazard when the boot was on the other foot.
Yeah.
but yeah, today looks horrible. And you look at Aston Villa on the other hand. Aston Villa on the other hand look phenomenal.
Is there
Incredible
a
result against
suggestion?
Bayern Munich.
Another question for you here. Is there a suggestion that losing today is good news?
I will never say that.
But do you see where I'm coming from?
It feels like it will probably put us out of our misery. But I also know how football can change very quickly, and football, like, we know it can. And a few good results, and maybe you start to look at things differently. But it does feel like even a result here, and we'll just turn up and have another stinker in a week or two. And it does feel like we're just delaying the inevitable. I think John said it when he arrived here today. But I want Manchester United to win. I hope we go and batter them. I just don't see it happening. Aston Villa are a very good team, and Manchester United aren't. Having said that, Ten Hag has beaten Emery 5 out of the 7 times he's played him.
Also, he just pulls a result out of the bag when he needs to. He
Although
more so
we
than
thought that against Spurs.
I did think that against
Like
Tottenham,
against
but-
Spurs,
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
the opposition is like the right like it's a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
game, but it's
Yeah.
not the biggest game.
Feels like a scout, but they're very beatable.
Yeah. The good opposition. We're at home. It's only Tottenham, that old cliche.
Missing players.
Son
wasn't
missing a
playing.
few big players,
Yeah.
and we made it easy for him. It just,
Adam,
it was just.
is there a part of you, like deep down, is there a part of you that believes that Erik ten Hag, even if it's 5 or 10%, can turn this round?
I'm hoping he can turn it around.
That's the problem, isn't it?
I've lost.
You've lost.
You know, there'll be moments in seasons or managers, like, I'll refer to Mourinho in it. The Sevilla game, he didn't get sacked after that. But I remember just going, oh,
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so
This
right.
is
There's
done.
always a moment. Do you remember when Antonio Conte went skits? I think Tottenham drew 3-3 with Southampton. And Antonio Conte, when he was Tottenham manager, just went wild in the... He didn't lose his job that day.
No.
He was still the Tottenham manager for their next game.
Yeah.
But we knew it was over.
Yeah, it was over. After that,
Yeah.
I
pulled
felt
out
like
the
the
board.
Tottenham game was that moment.
Yeah, because it was a horror. And then even if you want to go, Tottenham game wasn't the game. Look at the Porto game. Half time takes off Rashford, and I go, this isn't. I obviously didn't want him to be injured, but I went, I hope that's an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense
So strange.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a goal, he's got an assist. He looks our most threatening player. The right back was shitting it every time he went near him, and he goes, take you off because we got Villa on Sunday. What the hell does that mean?
Because me, you, and Buvey spoke about it the other day. It was like, how's this guy still got a job? And like you said, like Antonio Conte, like there's certain managers we know there's a point, okay, he's not coming back. We don't know, like Ten Hag's had at least 5 of these games where we're thinking,
But
he
then
should
he's
be
also had 5 where he pulls a ridiculous result out of the bag, knocking Liverpool out of
I
the cup,
also
beating
think you
Liverpool in
look
the
at
league,
how-
beating City to the cup final. Like,
Yeah.
His first season was impressive. To do
Yeah.
what he did, get third, get a trophy with the squad we had. And I think last season, you look at it, shot to bits with injuries.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, he's got that credit in the bank from the first season.
there's something,
Second season was a little bit.
Do you know what though? You're being generous a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Because you know if the Glazers had done this, you know if it had been Richard Arnold currently doing this, I think we would have been going, they bottled the big decision in the summer. The big decision was obviously that Ten Hag had to go. He could have gone out in a blaze of glory, winning the cup in the most glorious circumstances possible. But they knew he wasn't the right man, if they're honest with themselves. They interviewed Frank, they interviewed De Zerbi, they interviewed, 5 managers?
But I can't say I agree with that because before the cup final, I was saying
Keep
we got
him.
to keep Ten Hag. Like even before a ball had been kicked in
Trouble
the
is,
cup final.
it always feels so reaction, doesn't it? If we win the cup final, we keep him. If we lose to Tottenham, we sack him. If we beat Villa, we keep him.
I
just,
hate that.
Like in a way,
don't
you
think
could
it's
say.
reactionary
In a
though
way,
at
though,
all.
you could say if you beat Villa 5-0 today, he still deserves to be sacked.
Yes, of course. And from a rival's perspective, from me looking from the outside, it's your playing style. Like nothing has changed within 3 years. Like he's given you nothing, Adam. He's given you trophies and a bit of success, yes, but there's no progression. And everybody says trust the process and all that, and everybody's been. That's what managers say nowadays. But looking at Manchester United, it looks no different from Ollie was better than this. Because at least you had a certain
Mate, Ollie's
philosophy of-
away. I don't think
Yeah.
we lost away in the league for like 30 games. Like we can't get a result away.
I
from it.
do think
You're not
that-
even playing good
Mate,
football.
two
football,
trophies
bad,
cannot
man.
be overlooked. Two trophies in 2 seasons. I know that it's very easy to dismiss the trophies. It's very easy to say that it's only an FA Cup or it's only a League Cup. But that kind of mentality just doesn't chime with who I am.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But
Is that because you've
there's
done
some
it
big
as well?
clubs that go, let's say Real Madrid. Oh, he's won the Copa del Rey. Fuck that.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you won the Champions League. Yeah, you still got to go.
Yeah, but
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
they would. They
some
would.
big
But
club- I think we get more emotional about sacking managers.
when you
than-
haven't won, yeah, I do. That's interesting. You know, as a fan base, on one level, I do think that Manchester United's culture, particularly like in that Stretford end, I think it's brilliant the way that they don't turn on a manager. But in a way, I think it does them a massive mischief.
I think a lot of it. I think
It's good, but it's terrible.
I think a lot of it stems back to, you remember the Terrar Fergie banner,
yeah.
and that's become kind of like, and I
Yeah.
think people think back to that and think
Yeah.
we've shown ourselves to look a bit foolish sometimes, and maybe you just need to give managers a bit of time in it. And I suppose that's good in a way,
think
but also if you listen to the fans and the crowd, it's not like everyone's behind him. We can't. We
No.
don't get up. We can't get up
Yeah.
for it anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
all just
disjointed.
built.
Both the fan base is
I
disjointed.
also think you also added a great point there, Adam, with Real Madrid, and you do put Manchester United into that category of Real Madrid, Barcelona, biggest clubs in the world. If you're consistently nowhere near that league title, even if you're 5-6 points off it, you see what Arsenal and Arteta's doing. He might not have won it, but he's there and thereabouts, 2 points off it last season. Like, we can look at this. I can look at Manchester United and tell you they're not in a title race this year. They won't be in a title race next year.
They're not a Champions League club. That's
They're not a
that's
Champions
the
League-
problem
and that
as
is-
well.
that
They're
is-
just not. They can't be. You can't say them.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I always do. You can't say Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Man United, when Man United over the past decade have been a Europa League team far more than they've been a Champions League.
But that's where we need to go back to the point of Real Madrid would sack their manager for winning the
long
Copa del
time
Rey
ago.
and
Although
being
they've
20
sacked their
points off
fair
the
share
league.
of managers as well.
But that's Manchester United are that in England. They are the biggest
But we
club in
always
England. They
give-
have to be
we do-
in that league title race, or ultimately it's not good enough.
I kind of respect that we do try and give managers time though, but then it's kind of like you got to give time to the right person.
I know, yeah.
You got to give time to the right. But like with David Moyes, we gave him until it was like mathematically impossible to get top four, but it was like everyone knew.
And the trouble,
Yeah.
do you know what happens as well when people want patience? Like you know, in the past when I've said I want a manager sacked or whatever, there is one really bright, dazzling example of persevering with a manager that had some really bad results, but has now come good, and that's Arteta. But an awful lot of bad managers are going to get an awful long time because of one example of Arteta doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we always go, well, Arteta came good,
Yeah.
that worked. But countless managers have been given far too long, and they don't come good.
You know what's worrying as well? He keeps referring to the trophies, and look,
He does.
I
he
know
does.
I had, it was great days out. We beat City, we beat, I can't remember, Newcastle, and there were fantastic days at Wembley. And you live for that as a football fan, like John would chop a bollock off to have 2 of those days.
Maybe two.
But at the same time, every time he's under trouble, under a little bit of pressure, he goes, well, I've won 2 trophies. And it's like, come on, man, you got to give, you
Yeah.
can't just keep referring
Yeah.
back to
Well,
that.
if you have to keep telling people how great you are, you're probably not that great.
Yeah.
Like you people, you know what I mean? I know you have to
It
fight
twists
your
me up
corner
in
at some
knots,
point.
though. It does twist me up in knots because, on one hand, I think silverware is the be all and end all. Winning silverware is the be all and end all.
Depending on the silverware, though, Rory.
Yeah, because can I
Because
ask
if
you?
Manchester United can't in the cup and the FA Cup.
That's what I'm saying.
winning
Can
the
I ask you a
winning the
question on
FA
that?
Cup.
If Manchester United won the EFL Cup and the Carling Cup, the Carling Cup, whatever it is, and then they won the FA Cup, and then they won the EFL Cup this year, but they're consistently 20, 30 points off the league title, is that good enough
No.
for Manchester United?
You
next 5 years.
are probably correct. In the example that you've painted there, the very specific example that you've painted there, you are correct. This is my problem. I just always see silverware. I can't help it. When I see a team win silverware,
Yeah.
I just think that's amazing. Because that's the be all and end all. That's what we're all in it for. That's what we're chasing. That Chelsea went 25 years without a trophy. Tottenham haven't won a trophy since
But
08.
Manchester United winning the EFL
Arsenal
Cup.
haven't won a league title since what? It's 2 decades now, isn't it? It's actually 2 decades.
It will be.
It's so hard to win
Seeing
silverware.
him walk out there, though, yeah. And the Villa fans shouting stuff at him and that.
You really want it to get.
I just want him
well.
to fucking win, man. I do like Erik ten Hag, and this is what's killing me a little bit. Like, I've been fortunate to speak to him a few times, like, not on camera or anything, but just... And I remember the first time I met him...
Just on text.
Just first time I met him, I was
Just
like,
at dinner.
bruv, me and my dad and my brother enjoying football again, thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just a simple... Like, we won the League Cup and that. And he just feels a long stretch from there now. But
Trouble is, as
I'm
well,
behind him, man.
the team that he's built
You're behind the club.
So
Ad.
I think it's a
bad.
good squad.
No,
Squad.
it's okay. It's okay for what he spent.
It shouldn't be performing like this.
No, it shouldn't be.
I
But
was looking at the bench and thinking that is a strong bench. Personnel-wise, player-wise,
it's damning as
Martinez,
well.
De Ligt,
it's
Ugarte's
damning.
coming.
Unai Emery took over Villa 3 months after Ten Hag took over United, and they were 18th.
Look at the turnaround.
Look,
look
at they're
at them-
playing Bayern. They were just beat Bayern Munich.
And look who their manager was before that.
that's
Steven
possibly what did you say the numbers again?
So Emery came in 3 months after.
3 months later
Yeah.
than Ten Hag, and look at the turnaround.
And Villa were 18th when he arrived.
Off the back of Gerrard, like totally
messing it up.
muddying the waters.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, that's possibly the worst thing that you've said. That, you know, when we've discussed it, that's possibly the worst indictment.
I'm going
of
to hear
Ten
that on the radio this week, aren't I?
You might hear it again today.
Danny Youssef with the super chat. It's a big old super chat as well. Thank you, Danny. He says, Barca have struggled recently, but don't forget, in the hardest decade of football, 05 to 10, meaning by which players played the teams, primes of those players' teams, we won the most Champions Leagues. From 2024, we won the second most Champions League. All right, Sam.
Yeah, I'm reading his super chat now. I kind of get what he's on about.
I think it's relating to when we were talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
maybe someone in the comments has suggested Barcelona.
He's saying that between 05 and 10, it was the hardest
Yeah.
time to win the Champions League, and you won it once. Is that the point?
They won the most.
They won the most.
They're still winning the big trophies. But then that's where I just disagree with your statement, Rory. Like, Manchester United can't invest billions into players, be the biggest club in England, and go, well, we won the EFL Cup 2 years
it
ago,
doesn't
so
make
it's
sense
all
to
right.
me.
They've got to be up there winning the big trophies.
Yeah, when you say it like that, John, it's very difficult for me to argue. I think
Doesn't make
you
sense
are
to me.
correct. I just go on.
The game's about to kick off, but I got a dispel of rumour here. Shane said, my mate met Adam on the tube today. He told him United are shit, and Adam called him a fat.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Didn't happen. I spoke to someone today about
It sounds,
football. We had a nice chat.
slightly believable as well because I know your movements today.
Yeah, I would do that. It's my favourite word as well.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
We're underway. Chelsea are also playing, and what I found very interesting, Rory, is I haven't heard you ask for the Chelsea game to be put on.
No, I've put it in the group. What more can I do?
I have no, but it shows you where Chelsea are at the moment, because it's been the last few seasons when we do streams and Chelsea are playing, but we're watching something else. You never care, like you don't
Yeah.
really want to watch it. And today you're like, I want to watch Chelsea. Have
Yeah,
you got the
no.
bug again?
I was hoping that we could get it on. Is that a
We can
possibility?
try, I think.
Not
Oh,
a
no.
possibility. Being told it's not. Yeah, mate. I mean, we're playing really well, aren't we? We're a good team, particularly offensively, like really good. And I think it's got to the stage now where if you try and think of our best front three, is it? You could actually have a conversation about the best front three, and we could all say a different front three, and it all be very good. So I'd probably go Jackson, Palmer, Neto.
Yeah,
Maybe Jackson, Palmer, Madueke, depending on opposition.
Sancho as well.
Sancho wouldn't be in it for me, but of course that's a
Yeah,
good
it's
shout.
option, yeah.
I mean, other people like Mudrik's pace. I don't necessarily, but other people do. I think there are some really exciting.
Caicedo's been brilliant for you as well, I think.
He was
Oh,
last
mate.
season.
Caicedo's
Yeah, towards the end of last
Yeah,
season.
towards the end of last season, he had a good
Yeah, he
season.
had a
He's
brilliant
really
second
coming-
half of the season. The
coming
problem with a player like Caicedo is people want it to not work, and where there's such a huge price tag, and he didn't get off to the best start. Remember the debut and that.
Yeah.
People immediately write a player off because they want it to not work.
And he moved same time as Rice, same money, same position.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Rice
He was
obviously
linked
hit the
with
ground
Liverpool.
running.
He didn't go to Liverpool.
So let me ask you a question, though, Rory. So obviously it's the beginning of the season. Some would argue that you haven't played a lot of hard teams. You've played Bayern, Man City. You lost at the beginning of the season, but it's Man City.
Yeah.
Now
I'd counter it a touch and say Brighton at the Brighton on. I
yeah.
appreciate that Brighton
give
at
you
home
Brighton.
should be beaten, but Brighton were unbeaten when we played them.
Yeah.
And we beat them.
But yeah, you started off well now, and obviously your competition looking like Villa, Tottenham. I wouldn't really say Manchester United. So Villa and Tottenham for Champions League. Do you think you're better? You think you're more equipped to get that Champions League spot, that fourth spot? Because Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City more likely going to come top three.
I think it's very difficult at the moment to say that about Chelsea. I think that we are 100% a contender, which I
Could it
would
be
have
5 this
possibly
year?
said we wouldn't.
Could it be 5?
It could be. I think it's the same as a
But you got to
same
be
again. Yeah.
You got to be sure in it and just get.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
4. You got to aim for 4. I think that we are now 100% a contender, probably above Tottenham in terms of being a contender for it.
Yeah, I say you, Villa, and I'll say Chelsea, Villa, then Spurs.
Villa are a problem, and do you know who else I think could put a run together? I thought they looked quite good yesterday, although they didn't win. and not having European football might do them a favour. Newcastle.
Okay.
I think Newcastle.
Outside of chance, I'd
They've
say
been good.
they've been good.
They've been
but-
picking up results even when they're not playing. I mean, they should have won yesterday. I've never
See
seen
the reaction to Gordon's
See
penalty
Anthony
miss?
Gordon. It got to him, didn't it?
It was a
It was
crap penalty.
amazing. No, but
I love the noise.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
sounded like
yeah.
a
It was
goal, didn't it?
like they won the European Cup.
There we go.
Yeah, right in front of the Gladys Street as well.
so good.
Yeah. Do you see as well? Do you see him do that weird little meditation just before he
Yeah.
took it?
Yeah.
And then missed it in the most like pathetic manner.
Hey.
Like you're gonna do all that, you've got to score
You'll love this. Let's let this free kick go past.
or go in.
Yeah,
A bit of luck. Yeah.
Did you see Meslier's mistake?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Have you seen the video from in the Leeds end?
Yeah.
As the ball
No,
goes towards him,
I
they all
haven't
go,
seen that.
hey!
And it goes in there. Yeah.
Like,
Did
it's
you
like-
see the clip of him sort of having a little giggle afterwards?
Yeah.
as well?
Mate,
Crazy.
my head would. I know it's
Crazy.
a proper Yadar thing to do, but my head would go.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'd be like, my head would
That's
go.
such a good clash, isn't it? Friday night, Leeds versus Sunderland.
It was a good
Stadium
game, I
like-
watched it.
Also,
Great
it's
game.
blatantly
It
a
was for
Premier
top of
League
the
game.
league as well.
It
Like
was.
that's blatantly a Premier League game. Like it belongs in the Premier League. That fixture. It's such good clubs.
Absolutely.
I actually turned over just before that mistake.
Oh,
Rashford
good
wins the
challenge,
ball high.
Rashford.
Go on, Marcus.
Mate, they've got
Garnacho-
make 4 and
Garnacho's
4
diving
here
to
if
the
they
box.
can make it.
Turn in, shoot.
Done
shoot.
well.
Shoot.
He's done
Top
really
bins.
well.
Oh, good save.
Rashford's
Good save
done
by
well.
Martinez.
Done really well.
Very good.
Need
save.
someone a little bit,
Marcus has been in form, you know, this season.
little bit hungrier there.
He started off well, you
He's
know.
hiding.
Needs
it's been
somebody to
hidden
be
'cause we're
charging
really
in.
crap.
You know, when off the back of the Martinez save, like Martinez hasn't done particularly well there because he's played it right back into the area.
Marcus misses a left back going down the
Down
side.
the outside.
And giving him-
Yeah.
Delow's
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
central, so he hasn't
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that.
You can't claim
God,
it.
Delow had a
Not in
bad
as early,
game,
it's the
mate.
weight.
Oh yeah, he had a bad one.
Mate, at some point, you're going to have to admit I'm right about Delow.
No, I think he's still a good
Nah,
player.
Delow's a good.
I like
He's a
Delow.
good. He's a good player. He's like 22 years old. He's a very good player.
I think the problem is
I think he's very good, man.
he started
I don't think
like
he's dreadful.
every game for us for 2 years or something.
I think he's good,
Yeah.
I don't
man.
remember the last time he didn't. Start.
Whatever happened to that Malasia?
Oh my
Gone
god.
missing. There's like conspiracies about him.
Where
isn't
is he?
Back in training, but he's had like seriously bad injuries. Like
Was it
back to
knees?
back. I
Knees.
think so. Yeah.
Sure.
But like he was just. He appeared like so. There was a preseason.
That's another Ten Hag, man, isn't it?
Signing, yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
good signing when he first came.
He was
He'd
looking
just been
promising.
injured.
He was looking promising.
Mate,
when
Like he
first came.
gave Luke Shaw competition as well, which I think Luke Shaw does.
If I remember rightly, I remember him having a good game against Liverpool when he first came. If I remember rightly, but
Also, like 10
Other than
million,
that.
a deputy fullback. He wasn't a bad signing.
And he's
just
still young.
been chronically injured, and bad injuries. Never like a little knock. It's just
who's playing left back for you right now? Delow.
Delow, yeah.
Delow, yeah.
I think that's
really. I think they should switch it, and Mazraoui should go
yeah,
there.
because Delow's better going down the right hand side. I think Man United really need to home in on buying a left back next season, or even in January, and look for somebody who for the long run, because this left back situation, it seems like it's been going on for like 5-6 years now for Manchester United. Like you haven't had a stapled left back for ages, and like you said, it's hindering Rashford to some degree because there's no overlap. Like you lot really need to look into that position. I don't
Look
know.
at this, man. Villa just passing through us.
Rogers against Erik.
There you go, Maguire. Just fucking
Rogers
smash it
against
at the
Ericsson would
keeper.
scare me if I was a Manchester United
Rogers
fan.
is so
I mean, we saw
good.
it early days.
Ericsson's
he just
already
went-
booked.
Yeah,
You see
he just
that?
got
He's booked already?
He
Yeah,
walked
yeah.
straight past Ericsson. Ericsson had to just grab his arm and pull him
I
back.
missed that.
It's a mismatch. That's a mismatch.
Yeah, like Ericsson, if he should be involved at Manchester United, it should be so sparingly.
Yeah.
So sparingly.
You know what? It's interesting. Like Scholes was talking about earlier in the season about us needing a controller in there, and he's the only type of midfielder like that we have, and like his legs aren't there.
It's
you
not even
need-
about
you
his
needed to
legs. It's
replace
about the
him.
people around him that hasn't got the legs. The only person around him is Kobe.
Also, do you not think that like that isn't what Christian Eriksen is? I know it's what he's trying to be remoulded into because his legs have got better. But Christian Eriksen, when he was good, was an offensive, very offensive midfielder.
Driving.
Trying to remould him in the way that Paul Scholes redefined himself and create a Rodri, a Declan Rice out of Christian Eriksen. It's not going to work.
No.
Like, he just doesn't have the physicality to play that position.
It's exactly where my head went just as you started saying that. I thought Ericsson would be for the Europa League, some minutes for Bruno to rest him, but actually
EPL.
you're asking
Off
him
the
to
bench,
play off
set
the
pieces,
bench,
yeah.
come
20
on
minutes
for
when
Bruno,
you're 2-0 up.
Yeah.
like in that controlling 10 position, but he's somehow getting pushed into almost a defensive role against
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins and Rogers, which is going to go one
dear.
way. Goal.
1-0.
Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Could have clipped that up.
God,
This
that,
Rogers guy is
But he
amazing.
should have
very
scored that
good,
really
bro.
by his standards
Bruv,
this
he
season.
destroyed Declan
From
Rice
City
and
Academy,
Party.
ain't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They mate anyone who's good at football's from City's academy at the moment. They're crazy.
yeah, they're pulling it out of the bag, aren't they?
The lap. Looking
Yeah.
good, isn't he? That
Did
shot's
well
gone
last week. Yeah.
Got 4 goals in 6 games in the
Big
Prem.
win for West Ham, though, isn't it?
You had him in your list, didn't it?
I had in my top 10 this season, Prem, mate. It's gone everywhere from this. Like people give me hate. Don't worry, mate. We'll come back to that.
watched
We'll
your
come
list.
back to that in
Yeah,
a few weeks. Yeah.
He's
But
been
you didn't have Nicholas Jackson in it at all, did you?
Yeah, that's probably a
So you
mistake.
can't focus on the glory
Oh,
and
go on.
not focus on the whole truth.
I think Jackson should be in it. But
Unlucky.
I still, with that West Ham game with Jackson, I still think like he's not going to win Chelsea a league title. Has always been my point with him in striker. I don't see him as that leading figure to score 20 goals a season.
You did also name 9-10 strikers better than him in the league, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could get one wrong,
true.
innit, Rory?
We got a super chat from Jerk Haggis, which sounds like an interesting meal.
Nice.
And on the topic of meals, he says, and I want to go to Rory for this one first because Rory's always cracks me up. What would you guys have for your last meal?
Granola.
You're a rabbit. Granola.
Granola.
Shredded wheat. I make a lovely concoction of granola, shredded wheat. I put loads of fruit in it. Various different granolas. Like around my house, honestly, I'm like a granola mixologist. I've got loads going in. Fresh fruit, bit of honey.
That's your
It's a
last
dream. Some
meal.
goji berries,
Bro,
bit
but
of
you're dying.
walnuts.
You don't need to think of health.
He's having rabbit
No,
food
it's just,
before he goes.
mate. You might as well feel good. You might as well feel good as you go.
Rory.
Yeah.
And you want to feel
So,
grimy,
all right,
though,
all
like
right, then.
launch into a kebab and
Okay,
just
then
feel horrible about
imagine
yourself.
you are in Arkansas
Yeah.
and you murder somebody.
Yeah.
What are you? So you're on death row now.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I always thought being on death row could be quite fun as well. Like,
What?
just hear me out on this.
Please.
Being on death row, the beauty and freedom of being on death row is no pressure. Literally nothing matters, does it?
Yeah,
you can literally, like, you know today you're juggling a million things. You've got this to worry about, that to worry about. You've got to worry about your kids and your family and your grandmother and your like work, everything. You've got so much on your plate. You know, if I was on death row, I'd just be like,
Yeah, but
that's
then,
it.
Would
I'd
you
just-
walk around chinning people?
No, I'd
because
get-
you know it's over,
No,
innit?
I'd
but
get a
everyone
cat.
else is on
No,
death
no,
row.
they might do it to you.
Yeah, but everyone else is
definitely
on
be
death row.
harder than me.
The whole wing's on death row.
I'd get a cat. I watched Louis Theroux.
So everyone's got nothing to lose
I
there,
watched
innit?
Louis Theroux do it. He went into a prison where it was that, and a guy had a cat. He was reading all his books, doing the crossword. He had a cat. He had a pet cat.
They let you have a cat.
They let you have a cat. Something to do with like keeping people calm. So
Yeah,
what
because
you have to
they're
do
gonna
is you
lose it.
say that you're a nutter. Well, you obviously are a nutter. You're on death row. You then get a cat. Just play with a cat all day. Pull the string. Let it chase it.
Yeah, but then you have the burden of knowing that you've got an actual date. This is the day.
Yeah, but you know you could be on death row for 10 years. You could have
Yeah,
a
you could
wonderful
be there
10
for a
years,
long
man.
time.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah, I know. Of
wonder-
course, they
you
could
could
be
have
there
a
for a very
wonderful
long
10
time.
years. Just no pressure. That someone brings you your food.
But there's
you
a
don't worry
date
about your
still.
tax bill. You just bring me my food. Let me play with my cat. Read a book. Don't sound like the
So
worst.
you sound like you'd rather do death row than a life sentence then?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
I
life
don't think I
sentence-
could. You know, the idea that I'm never going to get out of here, I couldn't do it. You know?
Yeah, but you just
I'd just
adapt.
kill myself.
You adapt. No, you wouldn't, Adam McKola.
I
Also,
don't know if
very,
I should have said that.
you
Honestly,
wouldn't,
probably
yeah.
get demonetized or something.
Yeah.
But like, I would just off myself.
No, you wouldn't. You're just. My God, you just adapt to life. You
I
just.
can't now. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
but you have
I
a different
couldn't do
meaning
it,
to
bro.
life. You have a different.
I couldn't do it.
I think what you want in
Touch wood,
this
no one
mental
ever goes through that,
situation,
but-
what you want is you want to be on death row and just get yourself a cat. Get yourself some like Ernest Hemingway, some Oscar Wilde, read everything.
But you could do that
become
while you're
really
alive.
become really profound, really knowledgeable. And I think within reading, you would find a comfort in your situation.
Yeah, but I'll be reading more books than you eventually.
Would you read books
Yeah.
to try and get yourself out of prison, or would you just?
Yeah, would you try and escape? My head went to escape.
You could never.
No, you're not escaping from
You're not-
these.
You're
guys.
so
Mate, you're
subservient.
from-
You're
from
just-
these
you're
joints.
all people that's
on his
escaping.
back.
You're not escaping
from
I'd be
these
out.
joints.
No, you're not the man.
Impossible.
Didn't that fella get out of Wandsworth prison holding on to the bottom of the food truck?
Yeah, that was years ago. That
That was last year.
Was
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
that was
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year. Love it.
Yeah.
And it's
That feels
great
a long
because
time.
Wandsworth prison, I think he was
You
found
wouldn't
in
be
Richmond Park,
escaping,
which is
bro.
about 2 miles away.
You'd be holding someone's pocket walking around.
Probably. Yeah. But then I'd be using him to escape.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Also, the trouble is, if you escape, then you have to all the ag of dealing with normal life again. You've got to hide from people. You've got to hide from the police. You're a wanted man.
Just try to go to
Stay
Mexico,
in there,
man.
have a
Relevant.
sleep.
You have a sleep.
Just relax.
Nah, man.
Mate, you got to find the positive.
You know
in
what?
So
it.
if you had the
well.
one chance, one opportunity to escape, Roy, you're thinking, nah, I should just relax. You wouldn't even try to escape. Just because of the aggro that might come with it.
Aggro, man.
So submissive.
So you're just gonna say
Right.
it?
Get yourself a nice cell.
Nah, you're having a
I
laugh.
always thought, get yourself a nice,
Get some
have a
carpet,
nice cell. Yeah.
get a robe.
Mate, you'd watch every
Get a fire
box
stick.
set going. You could watch The Wire. No pressure, no stress.
Yeah, but you could be
Watch
free
all
and
the
do that.
football. Try and get yourself a
You'd need a
package.
fire stick.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Get
the
yourself.
first thing I'd ask for.
You need a fire stick and a
those
weight
cracked
bench.
ones.
You're laughing.
3 things that you could: a fire stick,
Weights.
weights,
You need
and
something.
a
Nah,
console.
weight's already there,
I
bro.
suppose you just do push-ups.
All right,
and-
fire stick
Weights
and a
are
console.
already there.
Yeah,
Why are you
true.
using one of your wishes on weights when they're already there?
I want a fire stick, a console, and some
Yeah,
books.
true.
That's it. I'll be fine.
What, a computer console?
Yeah, a console.
Oh, mate, you can't play a computer game. Your brain will go soft.
Oh, no, that'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
GTAing it up all day.
Playing computer games.
Online.
You know what? You could
Yeah,
Yeah,
escape.
you'd be
Pretend
hoping
you're-
that your date came along, wouldn't you? You'd be thinking, God, get me out of here, mate. I've got to play this stupid computer game like a moron.
Just because you don't like computer games, mate.
Yeah.
So give me
Yeah.
3 things you would like. Give me 3 things you have then. Go on,
There's a
Rory.
zombie.
Rory wants books. He wants a cat, by the
I'd
way,
have a
John.
cat.
Yes, I'd have a cat.
Have you heard about
don't
the time Rory did a shoot
With John.
for FIFA?
With me, yeah.
And he was like, you want to tell the story?
With John.
Yeah.
Well.
Just had no idea, did you?
He was like,
They
he
asked
accepted
me,
it.
yeah, they asked me, do you play computer games? And I could see that it was work. I went, oh, yeah. Oh, do I?
Do I get a nice session.
Yeah, computer games.
9-hour
Mate,
session.
Love them. They gave me this deal where I ended up playing computer games against 5 people, football computer games.
Yeah.
Computer.
So John came, and he's good at them. And they went, this was the first one, I think, as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They said something like the remote control didn't have a wire. It didn't have a wire to the thing.
Yes. Yeah,
And I'm trying to move it. I'm trying to play it, and it's just not working. I went, Johnny, don't worry, it's not plugged in. He went, no, it's just not on. I went, right. How'd you turn it on? All this brand that do the football games,
Production
they're
team
looking
there,
at me
looking at him
going,
You said you love it.
You say you have to play games. You even have to turn on the controller.
yeah.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I
that.
did not win. I don't think I scored a goal. I played 5 different people and lost 5 times.
Every game.
Yeah.
That happens.
You know when I play now, because like my brain is used, like still thinks it's FIFA 08 or something. There's loads of new buttons and things now,
Yeah,
innit? Where
yeah,
people
there's
can
loads
move
of
their
things.
defenders without like.
You can tactically foul now, so I could like hold your shirt and get a yellow.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold down.
Do you remember when they introduced diving and then took it out?
They took it.
You
Yeah,
press
yeah.
R2 L2 and you dive.
Just see the player
and if,
fly.
and, if
I liked
and if it was a bad dive, you get carded for it.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
yeah.
There was the game way back in the day when you had Bejeweled, the motorbike game, and International Superstar.
Yeah, I
Soccer
remember
Deluxe.
that. ISS.
And,
I remember that.
The referee would try to book you and you'd run away from him.
Yeah.
And you'd just be running around the pitch.
Back,
and
he'd be chasing you.
Yeah, I
remember
remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
International Superstar Soccer Deluxe.
Deluxe.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah,
You'd
that
get
was
bored
cool.
for 5 minutes and play Bejeweled and then you'd be back
Oh,
on
it could be. Is it? Oh, okay.
Cross
Cool.
that.
Good cross. Manchester United.
Where's
That's
that
legacy here.
At right wing, left wing.
that,
You had a,
It's a free.
piece.
Yeah, a set piece.
This is working in your favour, you know, Adam. They haven't scored early. You just.
Also-
we can't hear it, but I'm sure that the crowd's a bit more.
I mean, I
Mate,
think,
we could go
Subdued.
2-0 up and still lose. Seriously.
I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a bad fixture for Manchester United. This one. Don't get me wrong. Villa are a very good team. Unai Emery's an excellent manager. But the reason why I feel like this is the kind of fixture that Manchester United need. They've got a very good record at Villa Park. Like over the years, Beckham scoring there, Giggs scoring there. Like they've got a really good record at that club. The other thing that I think is huge for them is Villa. A win against Villa away from home would feel symbolic. It
Yeah.
would feel like a scalp.
It'd be a good win.
And Villa, they got to be feeling a bit emotionally drained, physically drained off the back of what they did to Bayern Munich in the week. Like, it's got to knacker them out, hasn't it? This is a great run.
All that.
Don't be offside. Why are you so far offside?
Who's that? Who's in the box? Oh, good.
Fernandez,
defending.
isn't it? He's a mile offside.
Great
Did they
defending.
change their centre back? Did Diego Carlos come on?
Yeah, Carlos came on for Konza.
Cons has gone off. With the international break coming up, you'd have thought he'd been in the England squad, right?
Yeah.
He
Few
would have
people,
been in the
few
squad.
people. I thought the England squad was weird. Do you know who wasn't in there? I think he's a brilliant player. Jared Bowen.
Why wasn't he in it though? Who's in it?
Well, I mean, I suppose the argument would be
Saka.
there's no
Playing
world
the
in which Bowen gets game time because Saka starts in that position. If Saka doesn't start for some reason, you're going to look at Cole Palmer, and I guess you then start talking about Phil Foden and other players that can play there before you start thinking about Jared Bowen.
Well, Bowen got minutes of the Euros. I know it's Lee
Yeah.
Parsley's team now.
I
But that
just think
shows you. So
It was interesting. He didn't pick Maguire, and his explanation for it was like he's just not going to play,
yeah.
Yeah.
which I found
This is
because
keeping
the
it
last
100.
manager would always seem to obviously he did it in the last tournament, but he seemed to always try and find a way to
Find
fit
room for Maguire, yeah. Yeah, I was surprised Bowen didn't make it. Really surprised. I was surprised. I mean, there was a few players left out. Although I just find it so. In fact, I was going to say difficult. I don't find it difficult. I find it impossible to get up for this Nations League at all. Like, I like international football. I love following England, but I don't care about it. I can't even make myself care. You know, when you go, right, England are playing, let's have a look at the squad. I don't care.
How do you
Yeah.
It
feel
means
about
less than the qualifiers.
Means less,
doesn't it?
yeah.
How do you feel about clubs pulling out certain players
They're doing the right thing.
by not making their
Like who?
players well, Cole Palmer, the last one, didn't go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but I'm
they're-
just saying.
Yeah,
but-
I think they're doing the right thing. And at this stage, not when it matters.
yeah, these
but at this
nations.
stage.
Yeah, these
But
nations.
something needs to happen. Something really does need to happen. You're looking at these injuries, like Rodri's the obvious one to mention here. We saw Alisson go, and I think Ten Hag, Arne Slot mentioned something about the game in the week, the game playing. What did he say? He said playing the first game on the weekend away from home when you've played in Europe is unjust.
yeah.
I think there's a
Yeah,
truth
it's-
to that as well.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because you have, let's say you play away in Europe, it's more games now. Let's say you went to the end of the dying stages of the tournament. You play at least 10 games. You only have 19 away games. So it's hard to then, shuffle all of them around. So you're always at home after Europe. Must be quite difficult.
No,
to do
but
that.
it just
It's just a
taps
schedule,
into it
innit?
just taps into the whole too many games, doesn't it?
But also, it's like, all right, if they're away, don't put them as the first game. And I mean that for any team, right? They should never be the first game if you're like played on Wednesday or
Yeah.
Thursday.
Like Chelsea, for
Tuesday,
example,
different.
Nottingham Forest, for example, didn't play in Europe.
Yeah.
Chelsea played in Europe at home in the Conference League. There's no reason why Chelsea couldn't have played. Oh no, we played Thursday though.
but
Yeah,
happened to
it's,
us.
see what I mean? It becomes a mess.
It did.
There must have been a fixture. Hang on a minute. West Ham beat Ipswich. West Ham could easily have played early, but then now it's all TV, and the TV want Liverpool on the telly.
Yeah, because when we played Man City, they had an extra day's rest.
Yeah.
And they played at home.
But then
It
I
was
think
away
for
to
the-
Atalanta.
For the top teams, like especially going in Chelsea, like Chelsea play an entire different 11 for this Conference League. Like you literally have an
They
A and a
have
B
to, though,
team.
innit?
They have to, yeah. But like Cole Palmer's not even registered to play. I don't think.
I rate that.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, no,
So I think there's a part of me as a Fulham fan that looks at these bigger clubs complaining about all these fixtures, and I'm like, you've got 30 players signed.
yeah, but
Like you've got the players.
but we rotate because we're in a Mickey Mouse competition. Liverpool play Bologna,
Yeah.
and Alisson's going to play. Alisson's their keeper. He's going to play. So I do feel sorry for the players. Like, I do think there is too much football. I know that they're really well paid, and I know that they've never, they get beautifully compensated for what they do. But like you've got players dropping like flies at the moment. Like top tier players seem to be
Danny
dropping like
Carvajal.
flies.
Also,
Danny
you've got
Carvajal
the
did his ACL.
Club World Cup now coming up, which
Well, we all have. Everyone's in that.
but it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of during pre-season, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you're not going to have a pre-season. Although teams could use it as a pre-season, but then you get told you have to field strong teams. So it's like, how can we win here? Because
Do you know what I feel like is going to happen? Do you know what I think the ultimate answer to this, what it will be? When a club, like let's use Cole Palmer, when Cole Palmer signs for Chelsea, he will sign for competitions. He will be a Premier League player, an FA Cup player, and a Champions League player. And if those competitions, because you can't, like Rodri's career is now in jeopardy because of too much football. Played all those games for Spain, all those games for City, all those games for City when they won the treble. So they got to the final of every single competition, then and won the league. Geezer must have played 70 games that year.
Yeah, he must be knackered.
He's then done a Euro. Spain have gone all the way. He's then played for. Then he's then played for City, intense games, and his knee's gone.
I
think with the Rodri one though, City potentially rushed him back. Like he went off injured for Spain in the final, and he didn't play a minute. And then he plays against Arsenal. Who did he do it against? Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
And what was it like early in the first half? It
20
goes.
minutes
Look,
in.
ACL. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. I don't know if it's too much football that does that injury. If it's just bad luck.
Barkley.
But
What a woke nonsense, by the way. Why is he wearing number 6?
Oh, yeah.
Ross Barkley.
What's
What a
what?
disgrace.
Why?
Should be a centre back, man. I hate all this stuff with giving numbers to random people. Number 6 is a centre back. It's like you like giving Gallas number 10. Grow up.
6 ain't a centre back.
Yes, it is. 6
Number
is a centre back or a DM.
Yes, there we go.
Yes,
It's a
no, I
DM
don't mean
for me.
as in the position, the 6. I'm on about the shirt number.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying numbers. What
Number 6.
Nah, man.
DM, innit? 6.
Or
My head.
a centre
Yeah, in
back.
my head is the
Number 5, 6 is your centre back.
6, 8, 10
nah,
in the middle.
man. Your centre backs is like number 2.
11, 7, 9, 6, 8,
Whatever
10,
it is, it shouldn't be a Ross Barkley.
4.
But Ross Barkley is a 6. Is the perfect because
Not
that's
a 6.
He is a 6 though.
Oh, you've got a handball shout here, Rogers.
I don't think that can be given as a handball, though,
No,
can it?
very harsh.
It's outside the
Though
area
his hand
anyway,
is
I
up.
think.
Does Maguire head it onto his hand?
Yes.
It's not a penalty then. If he kind of hits it onto his own hand, it's a penalty. But
Yeah.
if it head, especially when you're that close, although if your arm's up in the air, you're kind of asking for it. Innit?
I can't believe Adam just kicked off about the number 6.
But what I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be Ross Barkley, bro.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, but you've picked a weird one.
Yeah.
I agree with you in principle.
Gallas in 10.
Gallas in 10.
Yeah, that was weird,
Khalid
man.
Boularus, like Steve Sidwell in 9. Khalid Boularus in 9.
Yeah, certain numbers
That's
are
where
weird.
you want to. That's where you want to declare war. I don't-
Barkley shouldn't be
Steve
6.
Sidwell.
Well, mate, you
Wound me right up.
I'll back you on it. Why not?
What
Sod
next
Ross Barkley.
strikers wear number 1?
No,
That's an idea, that, actually. Imagine you win the Ballon d'Or and you just go, can I have number 1 as my
Number 1, yeah.
anything from 1 to 5, isn't it? Should be the back line for me personally. 6 onwards is midfield.
Number 2 is your right back. Number 3 is your left back.
Yeah.
We all agree on
Four,
that.
five.
Yeah.
Gary
yeah.
Neville, Dennis Irwin.
4-5 in the middle.
4-5 in the middle.
No,
Or you could-
6-5 in the middle.
Even 2 and 3 could be in the middle. It doesn't matter.
No,
No.
you're going mental.
2 has to be a
Two's a
fullback.
full.
2-5.
7
Three
your
I
right
could see
winger.
in the middle.
11
three's a full.
is your left winger.
Yeah, but I
Ashley
could
Cole,
see it in the middle.
Ashley Cole, 3.
Yeah, but
You could have 4
I
and
could
5.
allow 3 in
centre
centre back.
4-5 centre backs.
5-6 centre backs.
4-5.
5-6.
6-8-10 in the middle.
Or number 4.
6-8-10. 7 and 11 are obvious wingers.
Yeah, 7
Nine up
11's wingers.
Man United, like, I'm looking at the shape here. Look, we've got a lovely view of this. Manchester United, they actually look quite compact, quite together, a nice shape. Villa not really. It's going all right though, isn't
They're
it?
pressing really well from the front. They've
Mate,
won
Emi
the
Martinez,
title
You're too
3 or
loud.
4
Adam's like, you're
times.
too loud.
I was thinking this
Rory,
is
give it
playing
away.
Liverpool. We got battered. 25 minutes in, I was like, we look good, you know. We play
Yeah.
some good football.
You're giving it away, Rory. You're
Oh
giving away
my
the tactics. Kobe's dropping deep though. I can see that he's the one he's collecting the ball from deep though.
I just find watching Manchester United these days, though, whatever happens here, you win, he keeps his job for a little bit longer. You lose, and he's gone.
Oof,
That's probably the better outcome. But I just think like it's so inevitable that he's not going to be the Manchester United
No,
manager.
It's not, John.
18 months from now, a year
Strange
from
things
now.
have happened. He's going to turn it around.
stranger things are happening.
I think you're living in history because Fergie did that.
No, but not like this.
No, but you know what I mean? Because Fergie had that time to turn
Mate,
it
they
around.
did. They did finish 8th. That's the thing to remember with Man United. Like they finished 8th,
and they won a trophy.
and they're currently in the bottom half of the league.
They have 7 points.
But they won a trophy, and like you said, it's all about trophies. So
No, but there is
that's
some
the-
truth
that's
to
the-
what Ollie said about.
That's the trickery of it.
yeah,
You know, when Ollie said some trophies kind of mask a lot of things and it's for the ego almost. He's kind of
I think
right.
that master.
No, but it's not for the ego, man. That's what trophies.
No, but like the way Ten Hag now throws it around, it's like,
Oh my God.
Oh
almost-
God, that's so bad.
what happened there?
Who's that?
Was that Dallo?
I'm telling you, this geezer is a dreadful footballer.
He's not, man.
Dallo just tried
He's
to play
not,
the ball
he's not.
across the back 4 and
Bloody
played it straight to
hell.
Ollie Watkins. But
Mate,
it was
see,
sort of on
do
his
you know
head.
what? Let's just follow that through. He's a Rizzler paper away there from just gifting Watkins a goal. You know, if he does that, if Dallo does that, Ten Hag feels the brunt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ten Hag gets sacked, Dallo doesn't. And that's not Ten Hag's fault. If Dallo literally chips the ball into Ollie Watkins' chest and Ollie Watkins intercepts and scores, that is not Erik Ten Hag's fault.
Like, unless it's because he's asking Dallo to pick up the ball in that area.
Whatever he's
Dallo's
asking him
not
to
a
do,
good
though,
player.
whatever he's asking him to do.
No, but
John.
also
Never
like,
asking him to do that.
a big part of your job as a coach isn't just setting up the tactics and everything. It's almost like being a politician and how you make your people feel, how you make the players feel, how you make them play, and that confidence is a big part of it. And I think your manager has a big part in kind of giving you that confidence and throughout the week and in training and all that. James, this felt like a loaded question at first, but then it just seemed quite curious. Said, Rory, how did you get employed by TalkSport? Did they reach out to you or you saw it advertised?
Softened it
In the yellow pages.
Yeah, it was in the back of the standard. I don't know. I think it is loaded. It's very much a. How did you get employed at TalkSport? It was definitely that. Yeah, they did.
Well, you used to be a guest.
I
right?
went in there for half an hour a week every Friday for years. Johnny Evans is down,
Oh,
but
Jay.
not
He
out.
should be all right.
I love Johnny Evans.
He's been a good He's just been a good footballer over the years, hasn't he?
He won
Great
so
career.
much at United and then he won the FA Cup at Leicester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
career.
remember that? Yeah, and then came back to Manchester United. And this is how you guys are treating him.
You dream
And he won the FA Cup.
of that career, wouldn't you? Like if I could live Johnny Evans's footballing life, I would be over the moon.
Oh yeah, he's won everything.
Like
It just seemed rude at Villa
Yeah.
Park. There was a game at Villa Park. We had FA Cup and we were 2-0 down. And we won 3-2.
Yeah, I
against
remember.
Villa.
That was-
Solskjaer and Vanish.
I remember.
Michael was in goal.
yeah, that was when it was born, wasn't it? That thing about Man United and Villa Park, like you just can't lose there. Didn't Scholes score a wicked
That was after
volley?
99
Did
though.
Scholes score a
Corner
wicked
volley,
volley?
isn't
That
it?
was
Yeah.
the league game in 06 or so. I was at that game.
Yeah.
So I used to, I knew a guy that worked for Villa ticket office. And before he'd give the away allocation to United, he'd like give us 2 tickets in the
Quality,
allocation.
man.
Yeah,
Nice,
it
yeah.
was quite good. He's not there anymore.
I remember going there when I was really young, and Ruud Gullit scored for us against Man United at Villa Park in a semi-final against Man United. Beckham scored. Craig Burley was so stupid. Craig Burley did a stupid karate kick pass back. David Beckham intercepted.
That was
it and
Curtin's
scored.
Beckham, innit?
Yeah.
Am I rude to saying that I think that Johnny Evans is like on the same level as John O'Shea?
No, that's wrong. He's a much better footballer.
Than John O'Shea?
Johnny Evans is a ball-playing centre-back, like a really good ball-playing centre-back. Obviously, he's old now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that anymore.
I'm just talking about them. Oh,
He's not on the same...
Good defending. That's
Like,
the
John
thing.
O'Shea was a good player, but he was like a squad player. He played right back.
But wasn't
left back,
Evans like a
centre-back.
squad player at one point? At one point.
When they
Up
were
and
really
down.
good, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's like-
But only when it was Rio and Vidic.
Yeah. Yeah. When
You know what I mean?
really
It was
good.
Rio and Vidic. He was really good. When we sold him, I was disappointed. Because I
But
thought he
also,
should have
you
been
know
our
those
captain.
kind of players, good, honest squad players. I know we disagree, it's not even worth going back to. But I always thought that Scott McTominay was that for Man United. Whether Scott McTominay should be good enough to start week in, week out for Man United, probably not. But I think you need those players around the club.
100%, yeah, you do.
You need as many of those players as you can get. Actually, fill the squad with those committed
Not
players
gonna
who know.
complain.
Have you seen how he's doing in Napoli? By the way,
He's
They
killing
love
it.
him.
Doing well, yeah.
Him and Billy Gilmore.
And Lukaku.
Is Lukaku doing well over
Yeah,
there?
Lukaku's killing it over
Lukaku, yeah,
there.
he set up both for McTominay.
Yeah,
goals.
he's going crazy over there, man.
When Conte
Johnny
gets
Evans
there.
comes from a proper United family as well. His brother used to be at United, Corey Evans.
Did he?
His missus is like one of the
Corey.
presenters for
Dreadful
MUTV.
name.
Oh, okay.
Like they're all United fans. Like
So it means a lot
nice.
to him.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
So it means a lot to him. So him right now, probably in this situation with the Ten Hag, he's probably thinking, wow. He probably stayed
Very
to
good.
try and help
He's a
him.
very good person to have around the club, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Probably
He's a
desperate to retire.
very, very good
Knackered.
person. He's a very, very good person to have in and around the club, Johnny
Oh,
Evans,
yeah.
because
Because he's been there.
yeah, and you need people who understand the culture. Like he's been there when Adam, am I right in saying he would have been there when would he have won a European Cup? Oh wait,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the standards of Man United have never been more Man United than then.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Paul Scholes, like the new era, old era, everything, the continuity from Cantona. Like Paul Scholes would have played in the team with Brian Robson
Yeah.
all the way
That's
through.
because
Giggsy
Yeah,
played with Robbo as well. Yeah,
Crossover, yeah.
who would have?
Giggsy and that
Giggs, yeah, definitely.
at the start.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah Paul
But it says
Scholes would have played with Brian Robson, wouldn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
he
But
would have.
very like it would have been like
Not in the same
Robbo
team.
wouldn't have been
Yeah.
playing anymore.
It's in the way that you kind of you might forget. Like I'm pretty sure that Robbie Fowler would have played with Ian Rush, but they're seen
Yeah.
as being different
Oh,
eras.
good ball. Oh, lucky.
You also think when I think of Johnny. Ooh,
Played God.
Great tackle, man.
Shoot, you have to shoot now.
He did well. What a
They
challenge!
should have laid it to
Retro.
Hoyland,
I
man.
wrapped it.
when I think of Johnny Evans though, wasn't he there in a coaching role and then he kind of impressed in a 21s game and then he
No,
got
so
a
what
contract
happened
or
was
something?
he was out of contract last summer because I spoke about this with him in San Diego. Weirdly, like he was out of contract, and so he was just training at Carrington.
Yeah.
He was just using the facilities and stuff. And then we were going on pre-season tour, and I forgot which young centre back it was, but there was supposed to be a young centre back coming with us, and then he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a gap in the squad that we needed to fill because obviously when you're on pre-season, you need to play 11 against 11s. You need to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So then he got selected, like to come, like he got a month contract and he got selected, and then eventually he signed a new
Stayed,
contract
yeah,
and
for a long
stayed.
deal, innit?
good
But it was
story.
mad because on pre-season tour, when I seen him, I went, "What's going on? Are you staying? Are you going?" He went, "I haven't got a clue. I'm just here and I'm just enjoying it."
Vibes.
And then about a month later, he signed and
Yeah.
he was quite good. But he got roasted by Paul Mullin. Yeah, we played Wrexham. And he got absolutely twisted by Paul Mullin, and I thought, oh my God.
It's funny.
He's no Johnny, but then he came back in. He was
It's
all right.
actually quite good that you gave us context to that story because at the time, a lot of fans and me personally, I'll be honest and say that I was thinking Ten Hag's running out of ideas. He's gone back and signed Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Like
Why would you
sometimes,
think about-
sometimes
even though it's
those
good
signings,
experience, but, like,
sometimes those
Yeah,
signings are
that's
good.
right, yeah.
Like you do need the players that understand. Like as we just said, he played in a Wayne Rooney Man United team. He played in a Paul Scholes Man United team. He played in a Rio Ferdinand Man United team. He knows what it's about.
Yeah.
So and I this is a completely made up example. I have no idea if there's any truth in this at all. But if Garnacho or Hoyland, if they get a bit big for their boots or they start getting demanding or they turn into prima donnas, he'll go, slow down. Wayne Rooney weren't even doing this. Like, you
of
need
course.
someone that
Yeah.
you need someone that understands what it's meant to be there.
Yeah. He's,
You think that, but then everything we hear, the more you hear from old pros is that you just hear these like young pros don't think like that. they just think they're the bollocks from young age. They're on big contracts.
big
they don't
money,
listen to people, right?
Yeah.
I think didn't Cristiano say that himself?
Yeah, he
like young
did.
players don't listen. They
Yeah,
don't
he did
listen,
say.
and it's like if you can't listen to Cristiano Ronaldo, then who are you gonna listen?
agree.
You're not going to listen to Johnny Evans.
But
are you?
that
But I mean,
that's the management.
Cristiano
though.
Ronaldo fell out with Rude when he was younger. So
yeah. There is
could argue,
there is
you know what I
an
mean?
element
You
of
could
that.
argue
yeah.
it's just a bit about being
No,
young.
no, I do-
He is
an
right,
element
I
of that.
think.
I do think that, like, falling out with a senior pro in the Cristiano Ronaldo example, like, that's one example, isn't it? Like, from my understanding, Cristiano Ronaldo, when he went into that Manchester United team, was quite deferential and was quite respectful and did want to learn. I think it's appalling that anyone wouldn't, you know, if you get the opportunity to train, you know, I don't like Ronaldo, but if you've got the opportunity to train with Ronaldo and you're a United player,
As a youngster,
mate, you should be just going to him, mate, tell me everything. Literally, just talk to me. Just talk at me.
Because like he used to copy Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Ryan Giggs used to be the standard bearer, getting into training early, doing all his yoga, doing all this stuff.
That's what I was about to say. Cristiano Ronaldo's career being prolonged to this length will have a lot to do with learning from what Ryan Giggs
Just
did.
watching how they prepare.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Giggs turned to yoga in his late 20s, didn't he? And played for
It was
another 10
quite,
years.
Maybe mid, because he had a lot of hamstring injuries,
Right.
issues. And I think someone told him like yoga's
Keep you suckling.
good for stuff like that. Because he used to pop his hamstring on a regular basis.
is it?
Did you see the amount of disrespect that Ryan Giggs got in the video that we did? You know, when we did the Mount Rushmore video?
Yeah.
It's a disgrace.
I think the
Yeah, a lot of people didn't see gigs.
because we all kind of went, well, obviously Giggs, and then take it from there. And basically everybody was like, what are you on about? Why obviously Giggs?
Ryan Giggs is more representative of the Premier League than every player.
That's
there.
what I said.
Wasn't he 113?
13.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so let's just move on.
That's
Let's
just,
just
yeah, I
no
know.
point. Like, there's no point. There's no
but the problem
conversation.
is, you know, when you start doing that, John, because I think it's a legitimate angle, by the way. But when you start doing that, you then go, well, Alan Shearer scored more Premier League goals than anyone, so let's
He
move
should be
on.
on there. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it then becomes very difficult.
Yeah.
Because
But it
then
was like
if you
incredible.
rely
Like,
on
Ryan Giggs
stats-
scored in every season. He
for
was
ages,
there. Like,
for ages,
it was
I know.
just like,
He'd scored in every Premier League season until like 5 ago or something.
Yeah.
So
it's
who
fucking
he would
crazy.
have been on? So who would have been your four quickly then, Ad?
my Mount Rushmore, if I'm like, I could
It can't
easily
be
do
managers.
4 Man
It's not
United
managers.
players
It's not managers.
and no one could argue with me. Like, I could easily do
Yeah.
it. But I'd go Giggs, Rooney,
Yeah.
Henry, Shearer.
What about you, John?
But Cantona is very close to getting over Shearer in that.
Fair enough.
Giggs, Rooney.
Giggs and Rooney.
Give me a second. Giggs. What did you say, Raw?
I had
No
when I
comparing.
eventually did
Rooney.
mine, but I did mine and it changed. I started off with Lampard and Gerrard, Ryan Giggs and Thierry Henry, I think was my.
Yeah.
I'd go Giggs, Rooney, Henry, and then you need a City representative.
See, no, you
What they've done
don't. You
recently.
don't need a City representative.
See, that's where
I-
Ian
Like, you know, in the real Mount
They've won the
Rushmore, in the real
second-
Mount
they've won
Rushmore,
the
though,
second most
it's,
Prem.
it's George Washington.
Yeah, it's the founding fathers.
But what it is, it's not too Republican and too Democrat. You don't need a Man City and
Also, it's
just
who built it.
Yeah.
it's
Who
who
built the Prem?
built it. Yeah,
Oh, if it's who built, yeah, okay. If it's,
It's-
more
it's
than
George
that, then
Washington, Roosevelt,
I'd go
whatever,
for
it's
United.
not-
I'd probably
Who
go
are the 4 on there? Do you,
George Washington is obviously one.
Abe
George-
Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln is obviously
Roosevelt?
one. Roosevelt is one, and fuck.
Roosevelt, Lincoln.
I love like history of presidents.
Hang on, don't tell me.
I was recently listening to. Does anyone listen to Matt and Shane Gillis's podcast? I was listening to. They did a free podcast basically about all the presidents, and they just went through it, like just discussing the history and stuff. It was quite. I just
Yeah,
I
it's
geeked
the
out
first.
on
It's
it.
the first
I love all that
Roosevelt.
stuff.
It's the first Roosevelt, Abe Lincoln, George Washington, and fuck, I'm an idiot.
George Bush?
No, it's not. No, don't say it. If you're looking it up,
I was
look it up and give me a clue.
Wait, what's the?
Fuck,
You said it on the day as
this
well.
is
You know?
upsetting.
You said all 4 of them on the day as well when we filmed that.
This is annoying.
So who have you got so far?
Yeah, who- you said?
George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt,
Mm-hmm.
and
You got Washington, Roosevelt, Lincoln.
was it-
should
what,
know that you
What are the
should-
initials?
If I give you both of them, you'll get it.
Just give
Oh.
us the first one then.
T.
Oh.
His first name.
This is pitiful. A shadow of the man I once was. Hate myself at the moment. Genuinely self-loathing.
He was the 3rd president of the United States.
His first name begins with a T.
Theo.
Nope. We've already got Roosevelt on there.
I'll give up.
Thomas Jefferson.
No! Oh, It's upsetting. It's ruined my day, that.
Who's England's forefathers? Who's the first
Founding fathers.
founding fathers?
Go way back, isn't you?
Go way, yeah.
Go too far back.
Mate, America's brand new, isn't it? America's
Yeah.
brand new. It's like just been. It's like Australia. Like nothing. Everything's sort of about the same age as me.
This is listen.
Ooh.
Mate, Man United got to be well happy with this.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was just about to say that.
Depends.
Clement Attlee
Getting
get
to
in there
40
because of the NHS?
Clement Attlee, got a Clem Attlee estate in Fulham. Yeah,
Because of the NHS, isn't it?
I think a lot of things, like true left winger Attlee would be in.
Oh,
Corner?
no way.
No, it looked like it went
Yeah,
behind.
he went behind. Yeah,
Martinez.
good keeper Martinez, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
That Bayern game was incredible. His save and that
Yeah.
Harry Kane save.
Mate, I knew they were going to win.
Yeah, just felt.
John
it, didn't
Duran's goal, by the way.
Oh man, how
he? Oh,
great is
what
he?
a player!
They
knew they
knew
were
they'd
gonna
be
win.
working on that.
I knew they were
being
going to
off
win.
his line.
I put a tweet out to that effect. Nobody TikTok that. When I do a prediction, people love to have a pop. I was like, Villa are going to beat Bayern. Not a peep. Not a peep.
Yeah, when you get things right, people don't.
Yeah.
They were always going to beat them though, off the back of like Gary Shaw,
Because it was 1-0 in the European Cup
1-0 in
final,
the
wasn't
European Cup final in Rotterdam.
They played well though, Aston Villa, that game. They showed. It
Mate,
felt like a
mate,
good.
I think it's gone
Unai
beyond. I think it's
Emery
gone
versus
beyond saying
Company.
they've played well. They're just a good team.
Nah, they
Unai
played
Emery,
well.
really good team.
Unai Emery's never going to lose to Vincent Company. He's never going to lose to him. That's what it is. Like he's just never going to lose to him. Like it's all very well going the great Bayern Munich versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa just got back into the European Cup. Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? It's Unai Emery versus.
Do you believe that though, Roy? Do you believe that certain managers just won't lose to certain managers regardless of who?
I
they
believe
manage?
that Unai Emery is 10 times a manager that Vincent Company is.
So you think he's just outdone him on a tactical?
I think Vincent. I rate Unai Emery so highly. Like I genuinely think he is just class. Look at what he has done to Aston Villa.
Did you see what
When
Henry said?
Gerrard left, they were going down.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's
They were going down.
Raw, now's your time. Drop that stat.
Did you know that Erik ten Hag has been at the club for 3 months longer than Unai Emery has been? Look at the trajectory. No, Unai Emery is absolute class.
I mean, Henry
He's
came out
brilliant.
and said midweek, he said that if Arsenal kept Unai Emery, he believes that they would have won the league.
I believe it.
Who said that?
But did you just
Henry.
to make a point? And again, I'm not.
Nah.
This isn't pure copium. But there was a period at Arsenal where everyone ridiculed Emery,
Yeah, of
and he
course.
turned it around. Like it shows your managers can turn it around.
There was a period at Arsenal where everybody ridiculed Arteta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people forget.
It's the
When
second
Arsenal,
season.
lost 1-0 to Burnley, I remember they lost 1-0 at home to Burnley. And I remember going to bed that night
Christmas.
thinking we're waking up in the morning and he's gone. That was Arteta. You think he's gone? He's like, it's over. They persevered, good judgment, and they're reaping the rewards.
He
for it.
benefited
Emery,
from the
though.
changes, didn't he, with Josh Kroenke and that coming?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arteta
he did.
massively.
He also did incredibly well, Arteta, because a lot of the things that at the time I thought were a mistake.
What, this ref booking anything, man? What the
That was a foul.
Kobe
though, I
Maino-
don't know, man.
Kobe
They've
Maino's been
both gone in
booked
for the ball.
for a challenge
got a
on
lot of yellow
Tielemans.
It
cards.
wasn't a
showed
yellow card.
He showed his studs, I think.
It was a marginal foul. Look,
Check his card.
Have a look.
so far.
That's not a foul.
that's late.
He's won the
I
ball.
think it's a bit 50-50. Tielemans goes over the top as well, doesn't he?
He wins the ball.
Maybe it's nothing.
Kobe does.
Studs. He showed his studs, innit? I think. Look,
I think Kobe overruns the ball, doesn't he? That's
Yeah,
the
he
problem.
overruns
Kobe
it.
kind of
3
miscontrols
cards
the ball.
so far. Yeah.
Booking everyone. That's Maguire, Ericsson, and thingy booked. Adam and Raws, get Oasis for LA. Come and hang out with us. Pints and tacos on me, says Nick.
I would love that.
Should we do
I'd
that?
love
by the way?
everything about
I want to
that.
get
I'm in.
Oasis tickets
I'm in.
for America
Yeah, I fancy.
because they didn't have that thing
fancy
in
New
it.
York.
You know that pricing, what it's called?
Yeah. What do they call it? The pricing
Fluctuating.
moves.
You know the pricing. When
Yeah,
it moves around.
They call it. The pricing when the more people that try and buy them, the more expensive it gets. I know.
They didn't do that for America.
They didn't do that for America. I know.
And they tried to act like they were being good guys
know.
about it.
You rip off the English fans and then go, yeah, we're not going to do that. Yeah, what's it called? That pricing? Not strategic pricing. It's something. It basically
The more
reacts.
tickets they sell out, the more.
Yeah, the more people that are trying to buy the tickets, the more expensive the tickets gets.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
That's crazy. It should
Yeah.
just be a set fee.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that the one I fancy is New York in East Rutherford. Is it where the Jets play?
Yeah,
Jets.
I've been there.
New York
MetLife.
Jets. Oh, good ball.
Sick.
Yeah, that's the one I fancy.
MetLife's good, and the sound like, mate. We played Arsenal that day, and I was having like daiquiris in the stand, and like this big. I was just there drinking daiquiris, like smash it, bro. There's
You
a
went-
video where
The
well, come out,
combination:
you know,
Arsenal
we scored.
versus Man United,
We
and
won.
Ocean Beach
we
won
beat
the
them
same way.
twice.
What was the stadium you went to? Was that the one with, and it has the screens all round?
I went there.
Oh,
That's
that was
LA.
the,
that is in LA.
yeah,
SoFi.
SoFi.
I went
So-
there.
yeah,
I went
yeah,
there
yeah.
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great for the Super Bowl. Anybody that wants that in English football is totally missing the point of English football.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that stadium in English football. It's too big. It's too much.
I've finally
it's too much
decided I
theatrics.
don't want them to change Old Trafford.
No, you should never want them to change Old Trafford.
I've
What do you
finally
want to do? Just fix the roof and that's it.
don't even fix anything.
Yeah, maybe don't let it leak on people.
Leave the
but-
club.
Unless it's the
They're doing a
away.
good
Unless
job
it's the
now.
away end.
Leave it, yeah.
Unless it's the away end.
You know, I'm a bit selfish in that. And like, obviously, having a different stadium means more fans can come, more people can get involved in that. But from a purely selfish perspective, and I understand it's that, I love where I sit.
Also,
I love the people
quite
around
often, Adam,
me.
it doesn't mean that.
San Siro going.
Quite
It's
often,
like,
it
you don't
doesn't
wanna
mean
see
that. It doesn't mean more people can come. It means more corporate tickets are created.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean if anybody that thinks that a stadium move will result in more people like us getting tickets, you're so wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what? People
Gonna get
kind
priced
of
up.
think it's a big club thing with the ticket prices. I'm not saying Villa are a small club.
Yeah, did you
But
see that?
Smashed the Champions League.
They were
prices.
terrible, Villa.
95 quid.
Villa were a disgrace there.
a
That
pound
was
a
a
minute.
disgrace.
pound a minute.
Disgrace. Yeah,
Yeah, but
And-
people are going to pay it because they haven't been in.
No,
Champions
but
Leagues.
the problem is a lot of people can't, and they should have priced it. Did you see what Newcastle did when they got in the Champions League? Kept it exactly the same.
same price.
Also, like, I'm from Birmingham,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up in that area.
Yeah.
Bro,
It's not a wealthy
not everyone
area.
can
Yeah.
fucking afford
Yeah,
£100 for a
ticket,
game.
yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically,
Even
they
not
see
everyone will come from the local area, but
They see Arsenal doing it, or they see Chelsea doing it, and they've just totally.
and they're using PSR as an excuse, aren't they?
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody said that actually, didn't they?
What's he
Not
tried
bad.
there?
Not bad
He's
idea.
unlucky
That.
there,
Not
you
bad. He's gone for the
Little dink.
He's gone for the Zola Topoye for the karate kick. Little scoop over
Winter
the top.
Cantona.
Little scoop over.
What's the going rate prices like for Fulham? Just a
dear?
My season ticket's gone up so much.
Dear
how much is it?
700 now. My season ticket.
Oh,
When
you
I
said
first
pay the
started-
same as me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I pay,
Mate, you can
I
get
pay less than
You can get a ticket in the Riverside stand at Fulham, which will cost you. I mean, it's corporate, but it's about 3k, and that's tickets that they would have used to
Is
the
that
old stand just be a normal ticket.
just the league games?
Yeah,
19
Not the
games.
Champions
They don't Champions
No,
League.
but like not
Yeah.
the cup games, not the.
Cup games. I
They've
don't know
got
what they are this
they've got a
season.
brilliant new stand now, haven't they, Fulham?
It's not
Like,
open.
is it not? Why
It's
not?
not been open for 5 years.
Why?
But no, but I've
trying to
seen
build
people.
it.
I've seen people with
5
the.
years.
You can go out.
Yeah, it's
I
gorgeous.
follow a couple of Fulham fans. They go out and have a drink on the river.
Yeah, it's
And
gorgeous, mate.
So what, you can go out the back there, but the stand's
But
not
the
open.
stand now at this point it's like 80% open. But
Right.
they had an issue with the builders contracting legally. Something happened that meant that it delayed, and it's been being built for about 4 or 5 years, which is a shame because like
But
a smaller
people
club,
are in
you want
it.
that home support, and we've basically had an empty stand.
People
for
are
3
in it
years.
though.
That's
now.
Now there's like 70%.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah.
That's one stadium I would love to go to and
Craven
watch a
Cottage.
game.
Miles, you
I
have
would.
to.
I
So-
would.
It's
Mate, it's
amazing.
down the road.
Rory,
as
I've
well.
been saying this for years. I would love to go to.
It's a great away
It just
day as
reminds me
well.
of Highbury.
They give you a free,
Reminds me of Highbury.
they give you a great allocation. You take over the stadium.
That's not true.
Nobody there
Go
can
on,
beat you
Rasmus.
up.
Not true.
Nobody there can beat you up.
Ref?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
I just heard what you said.
Said it 3 times.
You know what it is? Fulham is that club. It's just as a London club myself, you just think of it like Fulham's. Like, they don't trouble anyone. It's just a nice.
There isn't a
just
better
cool. It's just-
there isn't a better away day, I don't think, in London.
than Fulham.
Fulham.
I
can
think
imagine,
as well.
yeah.
It's so picturesque.
Yeah, cool. You can
I
just
love
drink
how
down the
it
river.
nice.
You can if you want. You could get
Go
off
for
the
a
train at
drink.
Putney and just drink all the way down
Yeah,
the
you just
river.
walk up the river in the sun.
Yeah,
That's what
just
you're
go all
saying
the way
though,
down
when
the
you're saying about Old Trafford changing that. I'd stay at Craven Cottage my whole life
Yeah, you
rather
can't
than get
move.
one of these big domes.
Oh,
modern
Fulham's the oldest
domes.
club in London as well, isn't
It
it?
just has to stay.
Culture,
Danny
innit?
Youssef says, have you guys seen the new Camp Nou will be complete in 2026? Biggest in Europe, 110,000 seats. We'll miss the old Camp Nou a lot. Isn't it the old Camp Nou?
It's
just
the same
they're
ground.
staying.
Same ground.
Yeah.
I think they're
staying.
just
They
modernised.
just
They changed a
redeveloping,
lot.
yeah.
That I don't have a problem with. It's like the San Siro's going, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
and I
a
think
shame.
that's gutting.
That's a
Like,
shame.
same with Old
Crazy.
Trafford.
I
think
don't
Old Trafford's
understand how
great.
anybody
Just
wants
leave
to
it.
move. I really
No,
don't.
I'd be- you
Also, I
wouldn't.
don't
I seen Kendrick
understand.
Lamar there,
I
you know.
don't know what people want. I don't know what people want from football stadiums. Like, you know, when people go, the Tottenham Stadium's good. Like on my tube here, I was on the Victoria line. Everyone's going to watch the American football at Tottenham,
Yeah. See, Adam. Yeah.
and you're like,
Adam's American football. You mentioned. You just confirmed.
you're like, what do you want from a football stadium, from a football experience? If you want that NFL experience, if you want the cushioned seats and the heated seats and blankets waiting for you, and like, go to the American football. But that's not football. I don't understand why we're trying to make football stadiums in the country that.
No, I agree.
Football stadiums in the
Someone-
country.
It lacks
Like, I'm not
atmosphere.
even taking a piss. Loftus Road is a better football stadium than Tottenham. It's a better ground. It's a
What are you
better
talking about?
football stadium.
For like
It depends what you
atmosphere?
want.
Just for football, just for a football arena.
A Tottenham fan would probably disagree with you there.
Yeah, but
because
they've
got
this
good
isn't about
atmosphere and
supporting
everything,
Tottenham though. This is just about like, and then I would argue that Tottenham's old ground, White Hart Lane, was better than Loftus Road.
atmosphere wise though.
It's just for football, isn't it?
Yeah, but if
I love-
if they could transcend their if they can transcend their old atmosphere into their new ground and get more fans in there.
Yeah, but
then
you
it's-
can't.
Well, it's
You
hard to
can't.
do that.
It's
Yeah, but
impossible.
Emirates.
You literally
Only
can't.
we're recently getting- yeah,
only
yeah.
recently would you
It's
have...
not. It's nothing like
It's not like
Highbury.
Highbury.
You've
No,
got
no,
that.
it's
You've
not.
got that corporate ring round the middle, which basically makes it impossible for there to be any continuity of atmosphere between the stands.
They're taking the one out in the Stretford end.
Have they?
Because there was one in the middle of the Stretford.
Was there?
And
No, at Arsenal, what you've got that corporate ring that goes round the whole of the middle tier.
Yeah, in the middle.
Which is the same as the Deluge, isn't it? The Stadio Deluge. It's that middle tier where all the corporates sit, which basically means you get normal fans in the bottom, normal fans in the top. But they're not going to sing the same
Maguire's
song
gone.
because they can't hear each other.
Maguire's
So you
gone.
get no
Yeah.
continuity of atmosphere.
I think his hammy's gone or something.
Liverpool just
Maguire injured.
That's so true, Rory. When I think of Fulham, I think of when you tell me to picture Craven Cottage, I picture Sheffield United at home in the Championship. That stand's been knocked down. The wind's coming in from the Thames. I'm freezing. I'm sat there next to an old boy I've been sat next to for 5 years, and we're just watching it both freeze. I don't want this corporate warm.
Do you know what I think of when I think of Fulham? Do you remember when you got run on your own pitch?
No, here we go.
Do you remember that?
Here we
Do you remember when you did a pitch invasion and
Were
then
you on the pitch?
ran away? They beat us 1-0. Gallas got sent off. So Fulham fans did like a full pitch invasion, came over to the Chelsea end. It was like, come on. Loads of Chelsea fans ran on the pitch. They all ran away.
They went, all right, then, go on.
We still sing it to them.
Wait one sec.
Yeah. You got run on your own pitch.
I was
Chelsea
too young, mate.
versus
I would have been there knocking you all out. So.
Yes, John.
Half time, it's 0-0. It looks like Maguire won't be coming back out after the half time break. Matej de Ligt was getting warmed up and ready to come on. Looks like he's picked up a muscle injury, either groin, hamstring. Not too sure. Could even be his knee.
Looked like his knee.
Yeah, but 0-0.
This is a
Even
good.
first half.
This is a good result for you so far.
0-0 Chelsea's.
The later this,
It's not considering we've dropped so many points already.
no, but
No, mate, this is a good result
this
for
is
you.
a good result for you.
You know.
Need to win.
Villa Park at 0-0.
Mate, it's a really good result
is
for you.
very good for you. You
Ad,
can
come
nick
on, mate.
something.
Don't walk before you can run. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Adam.
That looks ACL.
Read the room, ads.
The way you did that.
Mate, there's a doctor in the house.
Oh, Diego Carlos is stacked.
It's the way you did it.
He's just seen a 2-second still of Harry
You
Maguire and he's
were talking
diagnosed him.
fantasy of Chelsea fans beating Fulham fans. I was watching the game, mate. His
It's not
knee-
fantasy, it's reality.
No, but it looked bad. He sort of jarred his knee on a set piece. It looked really bad.
So, Adam, you wouldn't take this result at half time at Villa Park right
Of
now?
course I would.
Yeah, it's a good
Of course
result
I
for you
would,
so
but
far.
At the same time, like, we've dropped a lot of points this season. And when you're looking at the grand scheme of things in the table, we need to win games. Obviously, we're in a position where second half, maybe we come out, take a few more risks, try and win the game.
Yeah.
And it's a good first half against a very good team in Aston Villa. But let's not be silly here. Like, a draw
Let's not be
is
silly,
more points dropped.
It's a good point.
Like, do you know what I mean?
mate.
A point is, like, you're dropping more points.
Yeah, but you're,
And it's so early in the
No,
season.
level on points with Bournemouth. Level on points with Bournemouth.
absolutely
I ain't going to be happy with a draw.
Mr. McKola,
I want to win every
absolutely.
game.
Well, mate, my dear friend, but you've gone insane. You've gone back. Like, this is wild. You go to Villa Park in the form that you're in, off the back of what happened to you last week, 7 days, Tottenham.
Villa Park's
off
our
the back
second
of
home,
having
man.
your
Craig
throats
David.
cut by Tottenham at home. Mate, a point away from home is a really good point.
No, it's a good point.
You-
But I want to win.
No, of course you want to
I know. It'd be like,
Like, we've dropped so many points this season.
yeah, I know, but this is the equivalent. What you're saying here, it'd be like going, you win one game, you win the game 1-0. Well, I want it to be 5-0. No, like, mate,
No, but you know, this season we've played 9 games. Guess who we've beat? Fulham. Cheers, John.
Just.
Southampton and Barnsley. They're the only teams we beat. Like, we need to change that before the international break.
Yeah, I
really
think it is essential. I think it's essential that you get something out of this game. Basically, honestly, anything other than a defeat is a victory for you. Anything other than a defeat, I mean it. It doesn't matter how it comes. It doesn't matter what if you play really badly, everything goes massively wrong, but you somehow end the game 1-1.
Yeah.
Pop the champagne.
I think the performance is the most important thing today.
You haven't
You
performed.
know, even if we draw,
wrong
but the
with you
second half
today?
performance is a
Yeah, we haven't
shambles.
performed bad
No,
today.
what? So
though.
you
we
lose
haven't, we
2-0
haven't.
but play really well.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But, like, you know, even if we drew the game, like against Porto, you're watching the game going,
Yeah.
That's bad.
oh my God. Like, I didn't feel, obviously, I had a bit of a relief when Maguire scored, but it wasn't like, fucking,
Do you
like,
think-
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
do you
of
think
course. It's
Ten
just-
Hag?
They saved the
Do
embarrassment to
you
some
think
degree.
Ten Hag is just like, okay, thank God, 45 minutes away. Let's just survive.
will he may be feeling, because he's got a good record against Emery, innit? So I don't know if, does that come into it for managers? Like,
Yeah, I
I've
think
beat
so.
him before, should be able to beat him again. Like, we've been to Villa Park, we won last season. Like,
I think it's got to be relevant. I think it simply has to be relevant. But I think that Erik Ten Hag will be looking at this fixture going, okay, Aston Villa are an excellent team.
Yeah.
Unai Emery is, in my opinion, the second best manager in the league. They've just beaten Bayern Munich. The club are on the crest of a wave. The whole end is rocking, right? And then you turn up, Manchester United, the biggest club in the country, turn up. If you're a Villa fan, you go, my God, things are going well. Now we can really cement who we are. We can actually pay back Manchester United. In fact, Aston Villa have an opportunity today to go for the jugular of United. Effectively end Ten Hag if they want to. They've got that, that moment where it's finish him and you can do it with a Chung Lee. They can do that. And if that doesn't happen, that's a good day at the office for
Computer
you.
game reference from Rory. I like it. I like it. It's changed. Let me fly through some of these super chats. Jack says Johnny Evans, second best Northern Irish player of all time. Guessing Georgie Best is first.
David Healy.
Yeah, there's David Healy as well. Away in a
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Great
Yeah,
chat,
yeah.
isn't it? Taylor Made says every club should have a standing cop cheap.
Yeah, he's completely correct.
As a Spurs fan, says Billy, I miss the old White Hart Lane, but nowadays football stadiums are a business opportunity. Need to be making money all year round.
See, Billy the Tottenham fan there, Billy the Tottenham fan is so accurate and clearly knows, clearly goes, clearly understands, clearly is, even if he doesn't go on a regular basis, has invested in the history of the club and what the club represents. You know, when fans of clubs, they go, we've got the best stadium. Why? Because Beyonce played that. Like, it isn't the best stadium in the country. It's a dazzling event. Like, if Coldplay are playing, they'll probably play there. I'd say it's better than the O2 or Wembley.
Burna Boy, Beyonce,
Whatever.
Coldplay,
Yeah. It's great for that.
NFL.
But he's so accurate. The old White Hart Lane was intimidating. It was aggressive. It was difficult to get a result. Rough, terrifying.
You want a
Mate,
shithole.
That pub, they had that pub on the corner, right, which was called the Corner Pin. And we drew 4-4 there. I think Grant was our manager. Joe Cole had a game of his life. Berbatov was playing for them. You go past that corner pin, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to get beaten up now.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way that I'm not going to get
That's what I was
beaten up.
thinking when West Ham changed, because I went to the very last game at West Ham. When United
Against you,
played
they
there.
beat you, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, and shit yourself at West Ham.
Totally.
And now you go there, it's like, I go Westfield. If
Yeah,
I
Westfield,
Yeah. Couple of Guinnesses in the cow. Pop into Prada on the way home.
It's true.
Crazy.
It's
But
not
that's
the
not
same,
West Ham.
Yeah.
The culture of West Ham United
The bowling.
is so far removed from a fucking Westfield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What West Ham are, what West Ham represent, what Tottenham are. Do you know the pub that I just spoke about, the Corner Pin? Do you know what it is now? It's one of those
Greg's.
pubs for the worst people in the world. You know those like what they called like. Do you want to neck or hipster pubs?
Yeah.
Hipster pub,
IPAs
Beaver
and
Tree,
all that
Yeah.
Beaver Town pub. Like
Shouldn't have said that.
what?
Because you probably get a beer 52 deal or something soon, and you'll be like, come and try Beaver Town.
No, but it's not the
best
point.
beer
It's
going.
not the point. You know, I
Get it
like
in your
a pint,
pub near
but it's-
you.
I like a pint, as you know, but it's not the point of that pub. That pub was like what that pub wasn't. It wasn't a pub for geezers who wear those clogs and have a beard and
Are
a
you on about Crocs?
hat. What are they called?
Crocs.
Crocs. Yeah. What do I call them?
Clogs.
Clogs.
Same thing.
Clogs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
mate.
They're not far
Yeah,
off.
like what's this? What is that?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised it took you that long.
You got Oggs on today?
Yeah.
Mad.
I think you're
Ogging
barred,
it out.
mate. You're
These are
barred.
real.
They look comfortable.
Hey,
They're
mate.
so-
But I mean, you're not.
Yeah,
in
they
the
heard
house.
it.
Have you bought?
They're
Are
slippers.
they slippers for
No,
here?
they're like Uggs.
You wear them on the street.
No, if I'm going like door to door, if I was going out and
Wait,
about
what,
all
do you
day,
have a job for British Gas? You go
No,
door
but
to door.
I've literally come out. my flat.
From his house to here.
Right, you want to change your gas supplier?
No, 'cause I come out my flat and then I've come straight here in the car, so I'm like comfortable. But if
Nah,
I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah,
the tube
makes
about, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
yeah,
wearing
no,
Uggs.
you wouldn't wear those.
Has anyone ever had a job like that door to door? I had one of them.
Never.
Never.
Demoralizing, you know.
You know what? Those
Not door
jobs,
to door.
I believe those jobs build character though.
You remember when
I'll tell you what I
you
have done.
apply for a job and then you go there on the day and they'd go, you start today and you go, wait, what?
Yeah.
I haven't even had an interview.
It's one of those jobs.
That's bad.
Is he still walking off?
Bad. No, he's just doing it.
You know, he must be.
He's fucked.
He's still looking up.
It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, he does. You don't want to see him injured. You don't want to see him.
There's
Berbatov.
Berbatov. I just mentioned him.
Oh, he's got
What a
with his
beautiful
nose.
man.
But
You know when? Shall I tell you something about Berbatov? You know when I met him, yeah, I had sunglasses on, didn't it?
Oh wow.
And I asked him for a picture, and he had sunnies on his thing, on his shirt here. And I went, Berb, put your sunglasses on for this picture, please.
Did
Like,
you?
just like it looks
Did
sick.
he do
Like,
it?
yeah, he did it.
do you- the thing is, though, you don't want. Is it still obviously him? You don't want it
Yeah,
to be any
it's
doubt.
still him. But it's mad. Like we were in Singapore, and he was doing something with a Singaporean company over there, and they knew us, so they just told us, "Oh, if you fancy having a day out with Dimitar Berbatov, just walking around and that." And I was like,
Yeah, he's a legend.
"Hell
isn't he?
yes, sign me up." I love him, man.
He's
What
a great
Burps
player.
was so
though.
good.
He was so good, man.
One of the best
Berbatov
players I've
spinning
seen.
From
was so good.
Leverkusen to Tottenham
Yeah,
to
he went
United
to
to
Fulham,
Fulham.
yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, for me, he had the best first touch in Premier League history.
Yeah.
For me.
He
And
was-
then
yeah.
Dennis Bergkamp was second.
Yeah,
He was a
super close.
Bergkamp's up there.
other way around, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about two of the greatest players
Have you
who've ever
seen-
lived in that.
Yeah.
You know Juan Mata, yeah?
Maybe that's blasphemy.
There's a
from an Arsenal
video
fan, but
of him at Old Trafford. If you can find it, just type in Mata first touch on YouTube or something. And someone hoofs the ball in the air, miles up, yeah. And Juan Mata's just standing there like this. And he kills it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Do you know
But
what
Berbatov
matter?
used to do it
You know,
in
wizardry.
you know, if you're talking about like players, I'd say Juan Mata is the biggest could have been player in the history of the game that I can think of.
He moved at the wrong time, didn't he?
Everything, you know, circumstance of being a footballer is very important, which is why I often say, when we say, could this player turn down this club at this particular time?
yeah.
And I'll always go, no, because of circumstance, you'll never get that opportunity
Didn't
again.
get it, yeah.
So, people go, well, you wouldn't want to go into Man United now. It'd be a terrible job for Graham Potter. I'm like, you an idiot. Of course you take the Man United job because it's Man United. One matter, circumstance, I am not joking. The 2 brilliant years for Chelsea, we won the European Cup and the following year we won the Europa League.
Played the season twice, isn't it? Back to back.
He was playing both
Yeah.
seasons. And we were the only club, I think, that has been like the reigning holder of both because we were the reigning
Yeah, you
European.
won one,
We won one and won the
waiting
other,
for the
played it a
Champions League
week early.
final.
We were the reigning holder of both simultaneously for a week. One matter was our best player by a mile those 2
He
seasons.
was unplayable. He was unplayable.
Did
And
you win the
Marie-
Super Cup in between that as well?
No, we got beat by Atletico Madrid.
Imagine you held all 3. That would have been nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
got
I
beat.
think I agree with you. I think, especially when you look at Juan Mata when he arrived, and you look at who David Moyes' first 2 signings were, Fellaini and Mata.
Mata.
There's no joined up thinking there.
No.
And it kind of epitomises everything that's been everything that's been wrong with Manchester United.
I'm gonna get my old guy, and I'm gonna get this.
Although
guy.
it's funny that when we won the FA Cup under Van Gaal, we were 1-0 down against Palace, and Fellaini set up Mata. But it's just like,
No, mate. What? Honestly, that season, Juan Mata.
Yeah, he's
We played. We had a ridiculous game against Man United, and he scored a free kick and he scored a volley at the far post. Remember the volley? I think the game might have finished 5-3 or 4-3.
and he made that De Gea made that great save on the
Yes,
free kick.
he came in with a volley and he hit it so crisply. He just like rifled it into the net. It's unbelievable. We went to Tottenham. We beat Tottenham 4-2 away. Gary Cahill scored. Juan Mata, it could have. He made Kyle Walker look like Kyle Walker looks now.
Yeah.
Then
He's a player that Man United fans will never hate. No one ever went, he's crap, he's finished, he's whatever.
because he's so
he had
intelligent.
big moments.
He's
as well.
part of the reason that I'm Spanish now. He's like me, like the way that. Do you know what else I really admired about him? When players often move to England to play for Chelsea, what they'll do is they'll move to London, but they'll never really embrace London. They'll go and they'll live in a mansion in Cobham near the training ground, and they will literally never ever venture into London. They'll just live a kind of billionaire's lifestyle. He lived in Covent Garden.
He was the same in Manchester.
He lived in.
He
Covent
opened a
Garden.
restaurant in Northern Quarter.
He was
got
good,
in,
man.
like he loved the city.
Do you ever met him?
Yeah, I was about to say Juan Mata. So I did a video with him for Stretford Paddock, and then he had just launched his YouTube channel, and we were there. We just finished a video for Stretford Paddock, and he went, "Do you want to hang around? I got a friend coming, and then we'll make another video for my channel." And I was like, "Mate, I'll do whatever you want."
Yeah.
His mate was Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera came, and then it was like, all right, we're all playing football. But then Man United went to him, "You're not allowed to release that video," because we were in it. And this was around a period where we always
would've been
plus the owners
class.
and that. And they put the plug on him releasing the video,
That's a shame.
which was mental. I've still got the video, and I released it as a members only video on my channel.
Did you?
Like I released it
Sick.
because it's like, that footage of us playing football with Herrera and Mata and stuff. But he's like, after that, I seen him outside Old Trafford and he, Adam, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like he's one of the nicest
So
people I've ever
intelligent as
worked
well,
with.
isn't he?
Him and AJ, Anthony Joshua, are the nicest guys ever.
He's so intelligent, Mata.
Yeah, he was one of those players.
Yeah.
Him and a few other Spanish midfielders that was just full of. There was a part of that they didn't make it in the Spanish team to as much as they should have
because of the gifted
Just 'cause of the
Spanish
gifted,
style.
yeah.
Too good
But-
of a
But
squad.
he
would have been- they
Didn't
would
he
have-
assist a big goal
Yeah,
in either the Euros or the World Cup?
Torres. Was it Torres?
I think
He
it's
had
the
an
Euros,
assist
it's
in the
Euros.
final.
Yeah.
Euros.
Yeah.
Did
Because he won all those trophies. He just weren't a
Yeah, but
key
he-
figure.
Do you think
Yeah, the
he would
free-
look at it
yeah, the
like that?
free.
You know how I'm effectively looking at his career through the lens of pity's not the right word because of he won the European Cup with Chelsea. He won of course he had a great glittering career, but I think that Juan Mata has the ability to kind of go down as one of the best, and I don't think he will go down as a great.
Yeah, of course.
No, he won't go.
But
Because you've got players like
I
him.
still don't think he hated his career. Sorry,
No,
to
of
cut
course
off
not.
there.
No.
But you look at his career. He won the Champions League at Chelsea. He was successful at Valencia as well when he was there.
Yeah.
Loved
Did he play
every-
for
loved-
Benitez? His team?
loved
That won the
everywhere.
league.
No, it can't
Is
be
that
that
too
old.
long?
Can't
No,
be
yeah,
that
that
old.
was way
Can't be
long.
that old. That was
Too
before
far apart.
Benitez went to
Yeah.
Liverpool, wasn't it?
United, he did win trophies, although it weren't big trophies. He won the FA Cup, League Cup, Europa League,
Yeah.
and he had some big moments. Remember Wamfield and all that. Like,
Did well against us. He came on against us,
Yeah.
I think. And I think
like
it was
to
a
say
2-2
that
draw.
Spanish,
And
he won the World Cup, the Euros.
yeah, his career. What do you know? What I'm saying here badly, because when you look at the career, of course he's going to be over the moon with what he achieved.
It shows you how good he is.
I just think that. I honestly think that he's better than so many players who will be seen as being better than him.
Oh yeah, of course, 100%. And like I said, it's the if Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets wasn't around in that era, there's a lot more Spanish midfielders that
Like,
would
I
have
reckon
gone
that
to a next
I
level.
reckon that he was as good, but he'll never be seen like this. But I think Juan Mata had all of the attributes of David Silva.
I knew he was going to say
But
so.
David Silva will go down as a great,
I knew-
and Juan
He just
Mata
keeps
won't.
changing centre backs every game. I know Maguire
No,
was
it's
forced, but he's also brought Lindelof on.
Wait, has he?
Delete
That's just
Lindelof.
warming up, right?
No, they come on.
What, he's-
Evans did seem to pick up a knock at one point.
Yeah, he did.
But
Unless he believes, there's not. This isn't necessarily a bad thing about him, because there's a chance that maybe Erik ten Hag believes that it's partnerships, and if one goes off, it's partnership.
Lindelof
Nah, but
hasn't played
no,
a game
what-
since last year.
Rory, what manager's ever done that?
Mate, he's a trailblazer. he comes up
he's
with,
setting up. That's
mate, who
whole
did
new
inverted
tactic.
fullbacks before Pep? It's partnerships.
So one of your centre backs, one centre back gets in. So John, you say to your centre back, "Don't get injured today, because if you get injured, that means I come
Yeah,
off as
you've got
well."
to come off as well. Yeah.
Tell you what's happening.
What's happening?
De Ligt's going to score the winner.
The Lit's not going to score the winner. The
Scored the
Lit
winner.
could be at
Is
the
it?
epicenter of
De
the
Ligt's
winner.
scoring the winner.
It's Mazraoui off, yeah.
Oh, so
So he's gone fullback.
Lindelof
Has he
is
gone
on
three at the
fullback.
back?
Yeah, Lindelof's going to go into
So it must be an injury because you don't take Mazraoui off.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. How many injuries?
2 more injuries, yeah, already.
It's not looking good, man.
At some point with the injuries, do we have to start talking about the Man United medical team, or is it can't just be bad luck, can it?
They took our doctor, innit? They took Arsenal's doctor.
yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I remember when Arsenal was riddled with so many injuries, there's that same doctor. And now you've taken him off us. So
It's that doctor from The Simpsons, isn't it?
it just knocks your knee.
And I don't mean Dr. Hibbert either. I need another mental one.
Good.
Oh,
Just about to kick off now.
Although I
0-0?
suppose this is closer to our first 11 than the team we started with is.
Oh, with Delete
that
and
make- you know,
Lindelof,
Because Maguire and Evans,
Evans.
wouldn't be expected to start usually.
Well, if I'm Aston Villa right now, though, I'm firing in crosses and I'm getting the ball straight to Ollie Watkins.
Tactically, does this
I need a quick
tactically does this put you? Okay. Do you boys reckon tactically this sets Man United now up for a draw?
Depends when John Duran comes on.
Yeah.
It's still 0-0
Good
for
answer,
Villa. It
yeah.
suits him. But
Good answer.
no, I don't think it does. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I don't think Mazraoui was exactly like overlapping and flying down the wing, creating loads of chances in the first half that Lindelof's not going to do. Do you know what I mean? That comes down to style of play, and ultimately, when you watch Ten Hag, I don't have a clue what he's doing
I just think it
most
comes.
of the time.
Yeah,
I think it comes down more to how Villa reacts now that they've changed both their centre backs, and it comes down to the attack if they just want to just get at them. Obviously, oh no, Evans is still on.
Yeah, Evans is still on.
Oh, he's still on. So is
So it's Mazraoui off for Lindelof.
Lindelof.
De Ligt's on for Harry Maguire.
yeah.
The Lit. So the centre half pairing now is the Lit and Evans.
Johnny Evans, yeah.
Yeah,
The
so,
Lit and Evans.
so the fullbacks need to just go at Lindelof. I
could be
I
wrong,
think you
but
probably-
from what I've seen, lovely feet.
Ross
Tielemans out
Barkley.
of Barkley.
Ross Barkley.
This is Leon
Lovely
Bailey.
feet. God.
Yeah, Leon Bailey, this is your chance now. Go at Lindelof and destroy him now.
God, the way that Barkley did that, I'm not joking. Like, that was wonderful, wasn't it? If Barkley could do that,
was
on,
it
like,
Iniesta-esque, wasn't it?
just,
The 1-2.
just shifted the body, shifted the feet.
Breaking news.
Brain number 6.
Chelsea 0. Nottingham Forest 1.
Serious.
Chris Wood with the goal.
Chris Wood was in my list. Chris Wood was in my
Listen
top 10
here,
list.
Chelsea fans, and listen here, good.
Scores goals.
Let's see what you're really made of, because if you lose this game, top 4.
We've got to start talking
It's
about
looking bleak.
what we did a
It's
manager's
too
list.
early,
I
man.
know, I know.
Too early.
You know, people keep saying
I want to put some pressure on them. Just a
when
little bit of
people
pressure.
say, you know, but people keep saying it's too early. I feel like the league table now is taking shape.
Manchester United
it is.
14th.
No, we've got to get 10 games in though.
Still,
Manchester United 14th.
it's still very early.
The league table
One
is taking
team
shape.
goes on a run
Manchester
of
United 14.
7 wins. I know, like
Yeah, but that makes 7 wins. That's
no,
a
no,
lot.
but that's doable for a lot of
Yeah.
some teams. Maybe not us.
7 sounds like a lot,
Like
mate.
5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
5 out of 7.
But like,
5 out
if
of 7.
5 out of 7 is good.
Yeah.
If you go on a little unbeaten run, then let's change.
Yeah. Yeah, more realistic, yeah.
Because it's not like you're trying to win the league. You're trying to get into the full.
Yeah.
When you're trying to win the league, it's different.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, as they know, like it's hard to drop points.
Yeah,
What did you make of the
They can't drop points, Arsenal.
2 games yesterday? Both had.
I think
different
Arsenal
games,
should be
both
over the
foul
moon,
behind.
Listen,
City
Arsenal-
vulnerable. I think.
Arsenal, let me
Yeah, I can
just
give
give
you
you a
that.
quick rundown on Arsenal. I don't know what it is. When Arsenal play away from home, defensively we set up great. Like it's hard to break us down. I don't know if it's a lapse of concentration when we play at the Emirates Stadium. I was there at Leicester last week. The same thing happened against Leicester. They came back and they scored 2 goals. It was shaky. We got to the 90th minute and we scored a goal. Same thing happened against Southampton. The first half we was actually destroying them. They had nothing. There was nothing in the game. Second half is as it is. I feel as if Arteta. What's it? Good shot from Rashford.
Oh, what a hit.
Crossbar.
Been Man United's biggest threat by a mile, hasn't
Yeah, that
he?
was
All
yeah.
season.
All
Really?
season.
All season. He scored 4 or 5 goals. Got about 2-3 assists.
Everything today.
And all the big
nothing
chances,
Hoyland.
good chance.
It's nothing Hoyland, is it? It's all Rashford.
That was a good.
Although
shot.
some of
Don't
Ooh.
try it, McKola.
some of Hoyland's running's been good. That's what I was going to say.
That's good at running.
Good at
Ooh,
running.
that was a good
That's a
save.
good
Save.
save. I
Such
thought
a
it was
very
right
good save.
over.
Bar, God.
That's going in.
That's going in. That is
Barring
dipping
in.
over.
Miles, talking Arsenal there, do you think it's just now with how Arsenal are getting respected, like smaller teams are going to turn up there and it's almost like Etihad syndrome where you turn up and you're like, let's just park the bus. Is it
Yeah.
the low block that you're struggling to break down?
Yeah, there's an element. Of course, that element comes into it because obviously people know that we're a great team and we're going for the league. But yesterday, I feel like Arteta slightly disrespected Southampton.
Too many changes.
Too many
unnecessary changes. I
Too
thought
many
that as well.
unnecessary
Yeah.
changes. I saw Sterling on the left. I saw Jesus down the middle. I saw Havertz.
Oh,
reverting-
Sterling for the goal.
Which one?
Sterling when he got caught in possession.
Yeah, Sterling.
Bloody
yeah.
hell.
Is it,
Havertz.
is it too early to judge?
Nah, it's too
Sterling,
early
though?
to judge because we're so good. I feel like we're covering up his performances. They haven't been great, but at the same time, he's still coming into a new system. And new
Who
team.
started?
What I thought was bad about Sterling's moment is
I'll tell you.
he's continued exactly as he was at Chelsea. Like you know Mason.
He's played all right. Though.
Mount.
He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been bad.
No,
Okay.
no,
But he hasn't been great.
You know when a player just kind of picks up where they left off. So when Mason Mount went to Man United from Chelsea, he wasn't playing very well for Chelsea, and then when he got in the Man United team, he hadn't played particularly well. The shift would be when Jadon Sancho came to Chelsea, he suddenly looks like a different player. I'd say Sterling looks like the same player. There hasn't been that kind of honeymoon period at the new club.
Yeah, but he hasn't really had a.
That was his first start
That was his first start.
He
yeah,
got so badly caught in possession.
Yeah, he got caught in position. So the team yesterday,
in front of his own goal.
yeah,
I haven't seen it like
halfway line. So the team yesterday, we had Thomas Partey right back. Obviously, Ben White and Timber's out, so he put Thomas Partey right back. The back line's the same back line. Calafiori left back. Then you had Jorginho in the 6 and Rice in the 8, and you had Havertz in the 10. And then he put Jesus in the middle, Sterling on the left, Saka on the right. Now you're playing Southampton, I get it. You expect to be dominating and winning that game. But it was way too many changes. There wasn't that much fluidity. The first half, yes, but we didn't take our chances. Southampton was playing they was playing out the back. We caught them in possession at least 3-4 times. No one was clinical. And after the second half, they scored a goal. After they scored a goal, luckily for us, Havertz scored straight after, so it kind of just...
What a goal as well.
What a goal.
Best
Lucky-
goal I've seen him score.
Yeah,
I think.
it was
Certainly the best goal for Arsenal.
One off.
Look,
Ooh.
I don't think he scored a better goal than that for Arsenal, has he? That was spectacular.
I like the one
thought.
he scored against Chelsea, though, when he ran through and just banged
Yeah,
it. I like
that was a good goal. The reason why I thought that was such a good goal and such a good goal for Havertz was because it was. I don't even like saying it, but it was kind of
it.
like the moment. You know when you need a player to turn up, you
Yeah.
need it. You've just got to go down. Man City are winning. You cannot drop points to Southampton. Like I don't care. Like you cannot drop points to Southampton.
Totally agreed.
If it's a draw, it's a
loss.
disaster, and you start talking about the title race. Like genuinely, it's that bad. Kai Havertz basically went,
I'm going to take
trust
this.
me. Yeah. Trust me. But I thought it didn't necessarily paint Gabriel Jesus in the best colour because...
No, they both got dragged.
Yeah.
Jesus got dragged, Sterling got dragged, and somebody else in the midfield got dragged. I can't quite remember. So he did after that goal, he made 3 changes straight away. After we conceded, he made 3 changes, and after the game changed.
It was good though from you, not Arsenal. It's annoying because I was watching them both. I had them both on at the same time, and do you know it's very rare to watch football like that, isn't it? The 2 title challenge where they don't really play on the same day. Usually Arsenal and Man City will be playing.
Yeah.
They're both playing the same day. They're both playing at the same time. I'm watching them like that. And do you know what? realised, which was horrible, Arsenal was so much better.
Then Man
City,
City.
I was watching the City game, wanting City to win. I was watching the Arsenal game, wanting Arsenal to get beat. And I'm watching City, and City look like they're
I
about
love
to
his
concede.
honesty, you know. He's
City,
so brilliant.
City looks like they're going to concede every time Fulham move forward. Fulham were excellent and wasteful. Fulham should have won the game, you know. Genuinely should have won the game.
Traore was the main problem.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think Traore was even getting tips after the game from Pep. Pep put his arm around Traore,
I hate
and Pep was telling him how to like do all this and that.
Very patronising, isn't it?
Yeah,
Very
after we just about
patronising,
won.
yeah.
I think as
I'd have
a
to tell him to fuck off. You know,
Yeah, very patronising,
you know what
man.
he did to Bertrand?
Yeah,
I'd have to go, bruv, move. You're not my manager, bro. I know he's a great coach.
Passive aggressive,
and
isn't
it's
it?
probably
Yeah.
it's probably clever to just listen to him.
I take the advice.
But in that moment,
Yeah.
I just go fuck off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just
Unless he knows him, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
But,
Fulham,
yeah.
but then I think Fulham looked. You say that Southampton looked, Arsenal looked great, Man City didn't. Fulham are having a great start to the season, and I think it surprised me how well we've been playing. Traore, if he could finish, it's not an argument that Fulham should have been 2-0 up.
should have been
Traore
3-0
should have
up.
scored,
Should have been
100%.
3-0.
And then he had another 2 1-on-1s that we should have scored. Games ended 3-2.
Mate, what about the
Haaland had
assist?
nothing. I'm like, that's,
the
why,
best assist.
that's why I've got the Mexico
seen
shirt
it?
on, mate.
breaking
Jimenez.
news.
Tell me.
Chelsea won.
There we go.
Forest won. Palmer assist for Madueke.
Mate, those two have got a telepathic understanding, you know.
How many
That's
goals
good
and
news.
assists Palmer got now? Saka's been
flying,
really
isn't
well,
it?
isn't he?
Yeah, Saka's got the
seven,
most
8
assists.
assists.
Do you know it's getting to the point with Palmer where you've just got to go like, this isn't me having a pop at Saka or anybody in the England
Please don't
team,
mention
but you just
Bukayo,
have to play Palmer. Like, I don't know what has to
In the
happen.
10.
I don't care. Like, but then you've got a Bellingham issue, you see. I don't know what the answer is, but Palmer has to play.
Yeah, but Bukayo Saka is arguably,
Saka has to play because
arguably top 3 right,
he's the
right
best
wingers in the
right
world.
winger there.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Agree. Okay.
I still think it's got to be Rice, Bellingham, Palmer, Saka.
Yeah.
So, but Bellingham effectively falls on his sword and goes deep.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's what he's doing this season for Real Madrid. He's not actually a false nine. He was
Good
doing
player,
it last year.
Madueke, you know.
Bellingham.
Palmer is he's a great player. He's a fantastic player. I feel like he plays in different positions. He could play right wing, he could play cam, he could play left wing up front, false nine, whatever. He's got it all. I just don't like the fact that when people always compare him to Saka because they're not playing the same position. I think other than Mo Salah, and this season I would say that Saka's been better than Mo Salah this season.
Salah's been really good this season.
He has been very good, but I feel like the output, he's got 7
Saka's
assists.
been brilliant.
Saka's got 7
Yeah.
assists already this season. Like
It's
7 assists, 2
Saka's
goals.
delivery.
It's his delivery.
Like, you know,
he's more
you-
influential for us this season. Not as much as obviously Liverpool. He's very influential for Liverpool and Salah. But what Saka's done for us this season, his trajectory, he's doing this. So right wing, I think Salah is just. Saka's just stamped on.
Yeah.
It's just Saka
Do
right
you know
wing.
what? This transfer window? International break now. It's so important, more for Pep Guardiola than for Arteta, because Arsenal are looking good. They've got rhythm. They're winning games. They're looking complete. Pep Guardiola needs to come up because what you can't do for Man City. I'm sorry, but Mateo Kovacic isn't going to score enough goals from the middle to win you the league.
Yeah.
Scored 2 yesterday.
I know, and he scored a very good goal against Chelsea on the opening day as well. He'd done it against us, obviously, like former club thing. But
Tidy from Villa this.
yeah, very nice play from Villa. Oh,
Very
it's too
nice,
easy.
big chance.
Garnacho didn't follow his
Ooh,
man
good
at all.
defending. Good defending.
Garnacho didn't follow his man at all, did he? Garnacho didn't. Yeah, just didn't.
cash.
Just literally.
He does chase the ball a lot.
Look, watch Garnacho here. Look, watch. There's a run. Look. Cash in
Yeah,
behind.
he got-
Cash
not
in
even
behind.
looked.
And doesn't even know he's there.
Yeah.
Not even looked.
And then just slides along the floor for no reason.
But go on, Rory. Pep.
But I think Pep now in this, he's got a break at a very good time for Man City, and I think he needs to reimagine that Man City midfield because it isn't going to work as it is. That you can't ask Kovacic to play the Rodri role
no.
because nobody can play the Rodri role. It's not even a pop at Kovacic.
Didn't
Nobody
they go
can
for
do it.
Zubimendi in January?
Possibly, but I don't know if
Long
it's
time to wait.
is it in your interest to do that? You know, if you're
Oh, no. Good
save.
save.
You know, if you're Zubimendi, do you not just go? I'm not going to sign for a club who's. I'm not going to sign for a club that I'm not going to start for when the geezer's back.
Yeah, when
How do you know
It's a good
Rodri's going to
year.
be?
It's a good year of
same when
playing
he
for
comes
Man
back.
City. You take that opportunity every day of the week.
How do you know
Yeah.
Rodri's going to be the same?
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
take that as opportunity as
Big injury,
Zubimendi.
you know.
Yeah.
It's a long time out.
But I agree, Man City, they looked. I mean, I'm
They're
Fulham
vulnerable,
fan, so I
man.
could sit here and be like, Fulham are amazing. We are very good. But I was watching the game and I was like, you know, when you're watching it and we were 2-1 down, Fulham, but it was like we were at home. We just had City pinned in for most of the second half.
But the thing
and
with
they just
Pep
couldn't-
is,
and you
though-
just, I was like, what am I watching? This is
Yeah.
not City
If
from
he-
that perspective.
He will find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there.
He'll
yeah.
jig a few things
What
around.
is it though? Like, is it Stones as a midfielder, or is it just making a midfield a bit like the Barcelona midfield, where it's like all little wicked footballers, Gundogan,
Silver.
Foden, Silva? Like, what is it? I don't
See,
know.
what
What
needs to
I think
change, I
in those
agree.
games against the likes of Fulham, all due respect, I think they'll try and just win games, batter like you score 2, we'll score 3. I think it's the big games where maybe you see Gundogan starting
Yeah.
and just controlling.
Gundogan started last week though. He looked terrible, didn't he? In that
Pep
position.
said that, didn't he? Because after the league,
Oh,
I think
did
he had a
Onana
good game
save?
in the Champions League, Gundogan. And Pep was like, he was abysmal last weekend. I had to have a word with him. Like, he turned it around.
Yeah, I don't know. But honestly, watching the two games simultaneously, having the Arsenal game on and the City game on, I'm watching Arsenal thinking they're never not going to win, and I'm watching City thinking they're definitely not going to win.
They just didn't.
Yeah, they're definitely vulnerable now because they're conceding goals left, right, and centre every
That
game.
was a
man.
corner.
I'm trying to
Villa's
find
been
City's
robbed of a
fixtures.
corner.
I don't know what City's
They're
next few
super
games are,
vulnerable.
but if they have a big game, you're right. I think like if they have a Liverpool coming up or something, that's going to be a big test because, yeah, you're right, Adam. They might go and just think we'll win 4-2 against teams like Fulham. We'll just go and batter them, score
No,
more
it's not
goals.
always going to work.
It's not always
It's
going
not
to
always
work,
gonna
but
work.
against Liverpool, like,
Fulham
I
should've
don't know
won
how
that
they
before.
set up in those big games without Rodri because he's everything to them. In those.
Can we discuss, though, the assist for Andreas Pereira's goal?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, it's why I've got the Mexico shirt on. Jimenez.
Mate, it's unbelievable.
beautiful,
He's
though.
one of the best.
Assist this season.
Do you think he meant it?
Don't you think you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's meant to put it in that area.
There's something terrible about assists. They're so unfair. Like, you know, when you've watched, I don't know, Dimitar Berbatov pirouette on the touchline and then
Lovely.
deliver an assist.
Lovely.
Or you watch what Pereira did. Or you, like, all assists are kind of seen as being equal, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like that quote from Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others, right? All assists are equal, but some are way more equal than others, man. Like, that shouldn't be an assist. There should be another...
Extra.
You should get a goal. You should get a goal. It's fucking mental.
It's great. Wasn't it? It's brilliant. If you
Get a
didn't
point
see
for
it,
I had
Jimenez
to
the
watch
ball.
what Pereira was going to do because at one moment he looked like he was just going to sprint off and celebrate on his own.
Yeah.
And I thought, you
Yeah,
better
yeah,
stop
you
and
better
say
go,
thank
yeah.
you to him, bro. I don't know
Yeah.
where you're going.
That was a good assist, man.
Yeah.
It's very
brilliant.
good. Is
Like-
that the greatest, or is it still Berbers against West Ham for Ronaldo? Is there another one that
Before we
stands out?
get onto that, I wanted to say that the other stat that you never get, which I like, is I can't remember where it happened this season in the Prem, but you know where someone leaves the ball perfectly,
Yeah,
lies,
and you get nothing.
and you get no stat for that,
You get
but it's
nothing.
their goal.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
You
like
get nothing.
step over
When
the
you
ball
done
in the
it,
box.
yeah,
you just
and then
let
it's
it run
just
through your
happy.
legs or
That's
something.
always-
You get nothing.
You get nothing, but that's brilliant. That should be a stat.
Yeah. Do you know, I remember when Zola was playing for us, this is an amazing dummy. Dennis Wise has played a through ball to Zola, and Zola has ran across it to take the through ball and has just stepped over it, and the keeper's, and it's gone in. So Wise got the goal. Zola got nothing.
But it's
I'm like,
brilliant.
wait, what? That's Zola's goal, isn't it? Like, without Zola's contribution,
yeah.
that doesn't go in.
Did you see? I've been really enjoying the Nicky Butt Paul Scholes podcast.
Very good.
So good just hearing them two.
I
talk
love
about
that.
what
You
they've
said
got
it.
a bit
I
about
put it
Dennis
on
Wise.
I put it on my thing. They both acknowledged
Dennis
he was a very
Wise
good player,
responded
didn't
to
they?
it as well.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like, I love these two lads, proper footballers and all that.
Did he?
Like he was a little bit of a loving.
You-
Like, the video was like I was rolling around with him and he had his fingers in my mouth. Like,
He shook him. Yeah. He's like, I was having a fight with him on the floor, and he suddenly had his fingers in my mouth.
What's this story?
what do you do if someone does that to you? Do you just pretend to enjoy it and freak them
If
out?
they put your finger,
if they go out, do you go?
I think you stop the fight immediately. Like, get away from them because they're
Yo.
clearly more mental than you.
Yeah, there's mental.
They're clearly more
Fingers.
mental than you. Yeah,
Fingers
I wouldn't
in
put
your
my fingers in anyone's mouth.
Just bite down, man. Bite their finger off.
I wouldn't. No, but what they're doing
then
is, if you're mental, what you do is
If you're-
you go into
Oh,
the
you know,
side.
yeah?
You know, you can. You know, this part of your mouth is very delicate. You could rip it. Yeah, genuinely.
Speaking
People
from
can rip.
experience, Raw.
Rip your mouth. Yeah,
Yeah, people can rip it. So if somebody is mad enough to start like in a fight, it's like going "Whoa," trying to get in. Just be like, "Fuck off, mate! I ain't fighting you. I'm going to find someone normal to have a punch out with."
Adam McKola could be in trouble.
Here
Look who's
comes
warming
John
up.
Duran.
Yeah,
1-0 Villa in
Adam-
the next 10 minutes.
Ooh, Adam
Don't
McKola.
worry about that. Someone said I love Fabregas bounce pass to Schürrle.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
mate. Yeah, Burnley.
Yeah.
Burnley.
Isaac
yeah.
assist against
Beautiful.
Everton was really good as
What
well.
one?
Who?
The Isaac assist, Alexander Isak.
Yeah, on the touchline. It was a bit Henri, wasn't it? Oh, do you know what was a really good one? Do you remember Mesut Ozil when he bounced it into the floor?
got a
Kick
goal
it
like
into
that,
the
didn't he?
ball, yeah. He
Oh, yeah.
scored goals like
He
that.
scored. There was an assist like that as well.
Was
I
it
think
was
might
it
have been for
Ludwig's
Ramsey.
way?
That's when he went around the keeper and looked it over the
that was
keeper.
good.
Yeah.
That's
I li-
a good assist.
I love
Olivier
that.
Giroud, I associate with some good assists. Little flicks.
The flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flicks and that in behind.
Fabregas has done some brilliant assists as
Fabregas,
well.
yeah.
Fabregas for Schürrle was
Fabregas almost falls
vision.
into that matter bracket for
Oh,
me.
he does.
In the same way of like he's not
Listen.
going to get all the
No,
flowers.
Fabregas will get the Fabregas gets the plaudits, I think.
No,
I think Fabregas plays every
game.
game for Barcelona if Iniesta's not there.
Fabregas.
Do you know what I mean?
Look
For his
at
whole
this,
career.
Ross. Fabregas. Look at this, John. Fabregas, Juan Mata, Silva, Santi Cazorla.
Yeah,
Um,
special
We
player.
weren't even getting into Spain.
These guys weren't even starting.
Yeah,
These guys could
Busquets,
start for
Xavi,
Spain.
Iniesta.
Yeah,
Xabi Alonso never really.
Xavi Alonso.
God, there's so many good.
There's
midfielders.
so many Spanish
Crazy.
midfielders.
Yeah.
that-
Do you remember when someone was talking about Jack? Not to take anything away from Jack Wilshere, who was incredibly talented, but was it Pep or
Yeah, he
someone
said
from
we got a
Spain.
load of them.
We got
I said
100 of them.
we got
said we
100
got
in Barcelona
100,
B.
100 Jack Wilsheres in Barcelona
Barcelona
B.
B.
Yeah.
Did Pep say that?
Yeah.
it's
That's when
true,
Jack
though.
had an unbelievable. We beat them that game. That's
It
what
weren't true though. It weren't true.
Well,
That
we've
weren't
named-
true.
Well, we've named same generation there. We've named 7 or 8 midfielders better than Jack
Yeah,
Wilshere.
they're not in Barcelona B though, are they?
Yeah, fair enough. Might have been at the time.
Yeah, there was a
John
there was a-
Duran is
So Adam, you know that Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt thing that you sent me on the Instagram? Is that its own? What is that?
It's a podcast.
What, those two?
Yeah.
Is it part of the Neville?
I think so. Yeah,
enterprise?
they're bringing out loads of new podcasts.
So what? It's
They need
just
to give us one.
just Butt and Scholes.
Yeah, just chatting.
Just those two.
class. Yeah, it's really good. I like it.
The two
'Cause they're
people.
both very like,
Just normal
Laid back.
fellas.
They're normal blokes.
and they're
Yeah.
talking about something that's really funny, and they both got straight faces.
I didn't realise that was its own entity. I thought it was, I didn't know where you got it from. It's just, all right, I'll have to listen to that.
I find it funny that Paul Scholes now has just got a voice in football now, and before you just never ever heard.
Yeah,
his
it-
story.
He didn't even have an agent.
It was a
didn't
thing.
want one,
Yeah,
did he?
it was
He didn't
it
want
was
to
a thing, wasn't it? Like
Never heard him
Paul
talk.
Scholes is just not interested in talking about football.
And then
Everywhere
now,
you look, yeah.
he's everywhere now.
Yeah.
And like
Money
you said,
talks, though, innit? Like genuinely, like money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind.
But I can imagine there's certain footballers that still wouldn't even talk, even if they got offered a
Also, I
contract.
think sometimes you need to convince those kind of people that their opinion holds weight,
Yeah,
and you want to hear from them.
yeah.
So even though they don't want to speak a lot, you should want them to speak a lot. Because how many times do people go or talk about us? He's like know nothing about football. What are they talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like when Paul Scholes says that, even if you disagree with him, you kind of gotta go,
Well, of course,
like, he's amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think you want to hear from players like that. Rashford's been
Rashford coming off is
The reason for that is because he just got booked for a foul on Matty Cash.
yeah.
And then he immediately kicked another player. And the referee went and spoke to him. So maybe it's just to save himself from himself and getting sent off.
I think that's what Ten Hag's saying to him there as well. You're right. Just sort of pulled him for a little chat.
Just gonna have a look at the scores, the Chelsea scores. see
Oh,
what
for
happens.
fuck's sake.
Anthony's on. Here we go.
Oh, it's that face of his, isn't it? Why does he always look so angry, but he does nothing?
He's a dickhead, man.
He just.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't speak about United players like that.
He could be the worst
Shouldn't
player.
get too personal, but
He's up
he's
there with
crap.
one of the worst signings you've ever made
Yeah.
in Manchester United history, man. Is that him on the floor already?
He's won a foul.
Is he knocked out?
No, he's fine.
He's not knocked out.
Oh, good. Adam, this is a good
that's
result.
fine.
I have a feeling Manchester United, John, might nick this, you know.
Delete.
Corner.
Manchester
Delete
United.
winner.
Set piece.
It could be some.
Delete
tight-
winner.
I'm telling you, bro, the later this game goes on, Manchester United defo can nick a result here. 100%.
Still got to fancy John Duran to have a say in it at
Yeah.
some point.
And Ollie Watkins.
Can have a
as well.
chance, isn't he? John Duran's gonna have a chance.
Who did Duran come on for? Sorry.
I mean, I could just double check.
I didn't
right.
see.
I didn't even see. I'll double check right now because I'm on the game.
Rogers most likely is. Although I think I
Duran-
can see Rogers there.
Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey. Okay,
So what's that now? He's probably gone to 4-4-2 then.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken
he
Bailey.
does that, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's gone to 4-4-2, 2 strikers up top. Oh, Adam, I know I could see. There we
Is he
go.
in?
Who's it?
Bad touch.
Through ball. Oh,
Good defend.
come on.
Oh,
Ooh, he's
really
made-
good defend.
made
De
it.
Ligt's done very well there.
Where did the run come from?
John
He's
Duran.
Colombian, but he
Colombian.
came
I know.
from Chicago Fire.
That's hell, man.
Because there's a tweet that's floating about
That
that's
was-
about not 5 years old, but a few years old, and it's like Manchester United are interested in Chicago Fire's John Duran.
Yeah.
A deal could be worth 10 million, and then like every time he scores, it resurfaces.
He resurfaced
Yeah.
because he was going to Chelsea. Chelsea was involved. West Ham.
West Ham. He was doing that on Instagram,
Yeah.
wasn't he? He was doing
And then
it
the other day
live.
when they beat Bayern Munich, he came out and was like, "I love Bayern Munich. They're a great club. I'd love to play for them."
Oh,
It's like every interview was like, "Get me out of Villa."
Is it the language? Like, is he saying it in English, or is that just? Is he?
I think
is
some
he-
people are just honest, innit?
Yeah.
That's genuinely
it's a
what it
stepping
is.
stone, isn't it?
Not,
For certain
not,
people.
he's a Colombian lad.
Yeah.
He's not grown up in Birmingham.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
a Villa
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
It's a
like-
stepping stone. You go from
Yeah.
Colombia, then from Colombia, the next best thing is the MLS.
But also for a
From
team
going
that's
from
in the top
the
four
Premier League.
and doing well, the next club's got to be a big leap up. There.
Mm.
And he's
It's got
only
to be
20.
a top down.
How old is he? 20. I think he's 20 years
20
old.
years old, yeah.
20 years
He's
old,
20
and he's
years
brought
old.
like that, and he's doing goals. It's the
2 years ago on
confidence.
Football Manager, he was class for me.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Do you think Aston Villa keeps a hold of him, or do you think they should sell Ollie Watkins, cash in on Watkins, and
Nah.
keep Duran, or
No, you got to keep Watkins
is it?
over Duran for me. Yeah. I
But if
thought
someone comes in for
If you're
Watkins
Villa.
next season, John, and
To
says,
be the club they want to be, they've got to keep both, isn't it? That's you can't be. You're not selling club.
But how
But
long
what do
is
you-
he going to last on the bench?
say at Arsenal, for example, I don't know, Manchester United, or even a Chelsea, even that comes in for Ollie Watkins, 70 million next year, Aston Villa here, take it or leave it.
I don't think that they're a selling club. Look, what you need to be the team that Villa want to be, you need York, Hull, Sheringham, Shearer. You need You need a team with Nicolas Anelka and Didier Drogba in it. You need.
But you can build around because you need
depth, and they got depth. Like it's not if they sell either Duran or Ollie Watkins, suddenly they become a selling club, and they're not moving.
Duran will leave. He's very open about it.
And he was. I mean, that's when he was doing all the Irons stuff.
But even midweek, he was like, "I'd love to play for."
Yeah, but if they said we're gonna, okay, but
just scored the winner against them.
He's wild, isn't he?
But do they keep him though? If they say to him, you know, we just sold Ollie Watkins for 70 million, we're going to build a squad around you now. Get a few more players and build it around you. They could keep someone.
United have got a free kick.
If he's got that
25 yards.
If he's got that arrogance, though, do you not think that he just goes, I can displace Ollie Watkins? Like, Ollie Watkins ain't that good.
Go on,
like, he's good. But we're talking about him like he's Ruud van Nistelrooy. John Duran will be looking at Ollie Watkins going, I can knock him out of the team.
He's 20 years old. You don't give a damn.
He don't give a damn either. No, you're right.
He's banging in goals.
That's his mentality to life, isn't it? He don't give a damn.
Bruno Fernandes over the free kick.
Bruno Fernandes. This is a big moment for Manchester United.
Didn't he get a red card?
He's about,
I rescinded.
Oh.
He's got two in a row. He got one in Europe as well.
This is...
Well, that was. I mean, it was a yellow.
This is a big...
Oh!
What a free kick.
Bruno.
That was good.
Fernandes.
I think the keeper
Bruno
was there.
Fernandes. We got him staying behind the camera. Our producer, he's
It's a good hit.
I think
Manchester United fan.
United score, you have to run in here.
keeper was
Anthony
Anthony.
I think Anthony could have. I mean, it was
know what?
very,
The defender was
very,
right.
very hard chance for Anthony.
That was a
Don't
good
get me
free
wrong.
kick.
Defender was in front of him, so he couldn't hit it straight.
But the thing is with Anthony, he actually did the hardest bit. He like kind of kept it in the ballpark and made good contact. I feel like you should hit the target once you've done that stuff. And you lose on the Chelsea score, it's still 1-1.
Still on. I feel like Manchester United's in the ascendant here, you know. Villa hasn't really done anything.
Man United played well all game.
Yeah, they played
Well all game.
Man,
They could easily get beat 1-0 here, but they have played well all game.
I have a feeling Man United might nick this. I just have a feeling they might nick it. They're knocking on the door, man. They're knocking on the
They
door.
just haven't had enough in the final third, though. It's never like, they should have scored, really. They haven't had
No,
any of
that's
those
true.
chances.
That's true.
But they're not
Villa
expected
hasn't
to
really
win
done
this
anything,
game.
really.
They're not like Villa. This is a game that Villa has to. Like, this is 2 points drop for Villa, isn't it? They're playing a team 14th in the league, all due respect.
2 points drop for them. They're still
Given the
playing
weak
playing a
teams
team-
that had it is.
Yeah, but they're still playing Manchester United to some degree. I understand
That's true.
there was a bit more favourites going into this game, but it's still Manchester United.
This is Manchester United.
Still United. United.
Big
I love
20
when that
minutes
shoots
here.
as an excuse. Like,
Yeah.
This can't happen. This is Manchester United.
Manchester
It's like,
United.
it means nothing. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Oh, shucks, he sold him a dud pass there. God.
yeah.
What do you think of it?
Moments like that are so annoying, aren't they? Because most people, I think, in that moment would think Mainu messed it up. But Xerxes taken no responsibility and played him into trouble.
You
Good hit,
have to jump.
I think if it is on target, Martinez probably gets
I
there.
think he was there. The keeper was there. But it was
Yeah.
a brilliant free kick.
Yeah, great free kick though. Who's that turn? Who turned that? Ross Barkley.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Ericsson, by the
Told
way.
you it's the power of the six. Go on. That's my left back.
Thank God for
Who do you bring on for
Who
Ericsson?
did that?
Who do you bring on, Ad, for Ericsson? Because it's the 70th minute. Surely his leg's going to be gone. Like, that's going to be a problem soon. Is it Casemiro?
Casa, Ugarte.
Surprised he's still got him on.
What do you think about that signing, Adam? He hasn't really.
We haven't got to see enough of him yet.
Yeah,
I think in the game he did play, I thought he was abysmal.
That's
That
bounced up
bounced just
horribly.
before he hit.
Yeah, it's bounced horribly.
In the game he did start, I thought he was abysmal. But in the game he did start, it was against Spurs and everyone was crap. So I'm not rushing to judgment on him yet. But
Because you bought him, right?
Let's
Like
wait and
60,
see.
50?
50 million, I
Yeah,
think, with some add-ons.
Yeah, you kind of need to get that one right. He's young, though. He's still young.
That's so good from Bruno Fernandes there.
It is.
That touch. Do you know that?
And that ball as well.
Oh, he's on side.
Play him.
Play him in.
Oh, no.
Oh, why did he slow down? Why did he slow
Bloody
down?
hell.
Oh.
Bloody
That's
hell.
like Rashford.
You know, if you're Bruno Fernandes there, you're going to go, mate, do me a favour. Like, I've
Yeah.
I can't do that again. Like, what I've just done there is like defence splitting, match winning, isn't it?
Xerxes
It is,
usually
isn't
good.
it?
in
It really
those
was
positions.
brilliant. He's
It
done
really was
everything.
brilliant.
Really good link-up striker, you know. Usually. He wasn't then.
I mean, Bruno Fernandes in his own half there, he plays an excellent first-time ball. He takes the ball under pressure when others wouldn't. He then plays an incredible ball down the corridor. But that should change the game.
I was thinking when we were looking at the replay of that free kick, I've always had a little bit where I feel sorry for Bruno Fernandes. I think he gets dug out a lot, and I think He's a very good player, surrounded by a lot of
someone
He's
that-
average
not.
players.
It's because he's not a captain. That's
No,
the
but
problem.
if he was at Manchester City,
Oh, good
he'd be
ball.
prized.
Ericsson.
Ericsson.
He constantly takes
the pitch.
responsibility as well, which I like.
I think he's brilliant. We've watched him. We've watched the best of Bruno
I don't
Fernandes there.
think-
He's hit an unbelievable free kick, bit unlucky, and then he's created a chance that if he's in a better team, it's
he
probably
injured
a
as
Yeah,
well?
No, but you're
That's
right.
all from him in the middle of the pitch.
I don't think the quality of the player is ever in doubt. He's an excellent footballer, no doubt. It's the fact that he's been sent off 2 games in a row. It's the fact that he's often petulant. It's the fact that he can let his team down.
But I think that comes from,
Frustration.
and granted, you could say so you should be able to control those emotions as a captain. But I do think you're seeing a player that's really frustrated at the moment with everything that's going on around him. And it's kind of coming out in his performances and how he's acting. Like he's signed a new contract recently. He must have been thinking, all right, this is a year. We've brought in some good players. We've got new ownership. We're going to push on. And then just kind of see it all falling around you again. You must be like,
Yeah.
he must.
I agree. I agree, but
You gave the.
I could have. You might be thinking I could have gone here or could have gone there or we should be doing better.
and also, like just to point it out again, that little moment that John and I were kind of watching as it happened, as it built, and kind of commenting on as it happened, that's elite level football, and it's ultimately pointless.
Yeah.
Like it means nothing. Like you can't do those things time and time again in a football match. If you can do one moment of brilliance in a football match, that's when you earn your money, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've changed the game. You've won the game for your team because you've pulled it out of the bag. He can't do that.
If Xerxes plays that ball first time across to Garnacho and
He's
Garnacho
in.
taps it in, I think it's one of those where you turn to Fernandes.
Bruno
You
Fernandes
go,
is like that on the
you go,
halfway
well,
line.
You've just
He's
took
like
a
that on the
ball
halfway line.
unbelievably.
Open the whole game up.
And then that's where you talked about, you both said it either side of me, like you said it comes from frustration where those bits of discipline come in. How frustrated would you be after doing that?
No, you would.
You'd be like, fucking hell.
You would,
like,
but you have a responsibility
any
as captain.
danger?
You have
Any
a
danger?
responsibility of captain to not get sent off 2 games in a row.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, look, I rate Fernandes highly. Usually, I'm arguing what you're arguing. I just think that he is an excellent footballer, one of the best in the league.
Do you feel like you get scapegoated a bit too much though?
No, because
Because
he's
he
the
always
best
Throughout
plays
his Man
himself
United
forward.
career,
I think he gets scapegoat.
do you think he's been scapegoated a bit too much? Because you hear Man United
But
fans
he's
saying
not a
Bruno Fernandes
captain, is
not
he?
good enough.
He's
But
not,
it's
he
like-
doesn't behave
Yeah.
like a captain. It's
But does
nobody's.
he, like, you know, when you're taking responsibility. Like, I kind of agree. My opinion at the time was I don't think he should be captain because he takes responsibility anyway.
Handball.
No,
He holds-
arms
he-
are by his side.
I think he hangs people out to dry as well. You know, people aren't playing to his level.
Yeah,
He starts throwing his arms. He gets annoyed with them, which is
Body language.
understandable, but it's not It's not how captains should behave.
Yeah, sometimes his body language is
Basically, though,
is
he's
not
just playing
best.
for a team where the average, what do they call it? Like the median
Good tackle.
ability of football is so below what he is.
That's a
I think it probably, it's a weird comment to make, but one of the most frustrating places to find yourself in football to be a player of his quality right now at Manchester
That's a
United
good
because you're
tackle.
wasting the prime of your career
yeah.
where you're going, I could be at Bayern Munich,
For his
I could be at Real
ability,
Madrid, I
for
could be
his
at Man
ability,
City.
he's obviously a Champions League. Like
Yeah,
he's obviously a
100%. That's
Champions
what I'm
League.
saying. How frustrated would you be? You're wasting your
How
prime.
good do you think he is then? What like would he get in the
He's one of
Arsenal?
the best in his position,
I
isn't
think he gets in the Arsenal.
one of the best.
He gets in the Arsenal. He gets in every squad, definitely. Whether he starts or not,
Yeah.
we don't know because we've only seen him at Manchester United at that level. But he
Starts
gets
for
in the
Spurs.
Arsenal squad. He gets in the City squad.
Yeah.
He's there, isn't
He's
he?
better than some would say. Liverpool fans before you start crying, he's better than Szoboszlai.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he's
I
definitely
don't
better
think.
than
Yeah,
Szoboszlai.
I don't think
definitely.
there's an argument.
I don't
But
think
Liverpool
anyone.
fans-
I agree with you.
I don't
Liverpool
think
fans,
anyone would get
Liverpool
the hump
fans
about
would
that.
argue it.
The
but
Liverpool fans will argue it, so he
he's
could
far
possibly get
I
into the
think they
Liverpool
struggle
squad.
to argue that one.
If they score from this, it's really disappointing because I don't think that was a free kick.
You know what's going to happen, don't you? It's written all over it.
Number
I
6.
thought Delit won the ball.
Red card in the Forest game.
For Forest, who? James Ward-Prowse off.
He plays for Forest.
Yeah,
Where have I
He couldn't
been?
couldn't get in the West Ham team. It's weird, isn't it?
you got 10 minutes, Rory.
10 minutes. Mate, 10 minutes against 10 men. we got to find a way through there, haven't we?
I need to get back on teletext, Mark.
Come on, man. Bloody hell.
That'll do, donkey. That'll
Got 2
do.
yellow cards. Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse
Two
just
bookings, yeah.
2 bookings. He sold everyone a dream, man.
Do you remember all that with Ward-Prowse, England team and Beckham
Yeah,
and
we need him for free kicks. Oh, that's
getting a West Ham team?
Yeah.
He did one video with Chris MD and then it all fell off.
Did he do a video with Chris?
He did free kick shot of him, I think. Yeah.
I love that when someone starts blaming a random YouTube.
A random YouTuber.
Chris MD's comment.
Why is
full
he
of-
doing this instead
Yeah,
of
West
it's
Ham.
full of irate Nottingham
yeah,
Forest
yeah.
fans.
These times, all these footballers do YouTube
Your fault,
videos.
this.
Oh, God. James Ward-Prowse.
I love when we get the blame. For
It makes me
you know,
laugh.
fan, like,
Yeah.
oh, all these fans
No,
giving
I
their
know.
opinions. It's like fans
Oh,
are
yeah.
giving
No,
their
mate.
opinions from
Mate,
what they
do
see.
you know there's a YouTuber who blames me for Thomas Tuchel getting sacked? Like, actually blames me.
He's right though.
Fucking won't right.
You started it.
He's on YouTube. He goes potty.
What's that he gonna do here? Ooh.
Do you know Anthony just did quite good football for him? He
Yeah,
just
but-
did quite well there. He sort of like, he just turned the defender on the halfway line, gained some territory, and then it's a good little cut-in shot, to be fair.
Not too bad. Oh, that was going in. Good save.
How good is Martinez? He just catches that. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
very
isn't
good
it?
save.
Like at our level of football, that's top bin.
Yeah.
Goal of the season. Everyone's going, wow. And Martinez just catches
Yeah.
it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Doesn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, at our level, the goalie goes, it's one of them. The goalie can't even move.
Yeah.
It's
He does a David
good.
James.
Yeah.
At our level, the goalie's our height, and he's watching it go in, and everyone's going, wow.
I think Martinez is so. He's
Yeah.
so good of a keeper. If you take Martinez out of Aston Villa right now and put him in Chelsea's squad, I think Chelsea generally would be a contender to compete for this title. Whether they win it or not,
Interesting, that.
he would.
It's
he
not
could
a
be.
wild statement.
He could be
no.
one of the key components because your keeper is very
dodgy.
shaky.
Could Chelsea be in it?
If they had
title contender.
Are they in it?
Got to beat Forest first.
if they had someone like Martinez, I'd be title.
I don't
contender.
think-
I don't know if they could win it, but
I don't
they'd be
think we
there.
can win the league. I mean, people think we can. I don't think we can win the league. But I certainly think we're in contention for top 4.
Yeah,
but to win the league, we're going to have to hit 90 points. Like,
What a horrible touch from Garnacho.
Why do you keep saying that, Rose? I don't think it's a 90 points.
I don't think it's
but I mean, it always has.
especially when City gets some.
No, but it always has been.
I don't know.
Like, what was it last year? Arsenal got 89 and didn't win the league. So City won it with 91. The year before was over 90. It is now over 90 to win the league. In fact, when was the last time the league was won with a
but
sub 90?
I think the general.
Leicester?
No, I'm
It's a
asking.
decade ago.
It's a question. It's a question.
Oh, right.
I don't know if it is.
No, I think
Leicester
City
had
won
that
it with.
something.
Or maybe one of the early City ones.
I think it could have been
I
Leicester.
get what you're saying, Rob, but I think the consensus at the moment is that the Villas, the West Hams, the Fulhams, they're better equipped this season to like take to the big
points.
boys and
Yeah,
take
yeah,
points off of them.
It's not true.
You don't think it's true?
It's not
Because
true.
look how Man City played yesterday.
Forest beat Liverpool.
They could have lost.
Yeah, but they
Forest beat Liverpool at Anfield.
I know, Rory, but they can't keep
Liverpool
doing what
aren't
they
going to win
did.
the league, though.
Live top of the league right now.
I know, but they might win the league, but they're the third most likely to win the league.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal are actually favourites now.
Yeah, but
For the first time in 4 years.
Why is that?
You're
Is
actually
do you think the 115
We're
comes
third.
into that?
no,
the bookies?
no. I think it's the performance that Arsenal put in away from home up there.
Got some super chats. Adam says, "Who are the best ballers in football?" Pod YouTube. Got one of them here, innit?
The best. Oh, I know who. It's Tom Garrett.
He's good.
PK Humble.
Tom
I was
Garrett.
gonna say
John's
PK.
brilliant.
PK can't count though because he's like semi-pro, isn't he? He's so good.
Yeah,
PK. Like,
PK's too good.
He's
He's
But
not
I think
YouTube
YouTuber.
level.
I think Tom
Yeah,
Garrett
yeah.
is. Tom Garrett could play that level, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe he used a few years ago.
I think he's
If
good
he got
enough.
off the
it'd
bit,
be
I
hard
think
to
he's
just
good
jump
enough.
straight back into.
I think
it if
Tom
you
is
haven't
good
for a
enough.
while.
Yeah,
John
Tom's
is excellent.
Allcott's good.
Allcott's excellent.
Yeah.
I think
Spencer's good,
Spencer-
reliable
Spencer,
centre
yeah.
back.
Yeah,
I think the answer, if I'm pushing one, I think it is probably Tom Garrett. Is it?
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone
I've
better.
played
than-
with Allcott more.
Yeah, Allcott's excellent,
Yeah,
but
I've only played with
Allcott's
Tom
excellent, but he's a
twice.
decade older. Like Tom.
That's true.
Tom
yeah, Tom's
Garrett.
still
Tom
got the
Garrett's
age.
better than Allcott because he's
Yeah.
a decade younger.
Danny says, "Have you got?" By the way, Danny, thanks for all the super chats. Have you guys seen what Hansi Flick is doing with our team? Top of La Liga, playing amazing with a laundry list of injuries. Also, any thoughts on us signing Chesney? Pedri is a world-class talent, and they're 2-0 up now, down as well. 2-0 up now as well.
Washington Chelsea.
looking good.
They got Chesney, yeah.
Yeah, they got Chesney.
How old is
though.
Chesney?
Leno's done his. He was retired. He retired at Juventus, and then they've just asked him to come out.
I mean, you do
Of
come back
retirement.
out of retirement for Barcelona, innit?
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Chesney?
Yeah,
Isn't football a mad game? Imagine that you've retired and then
But
you're
he's
sitting
still
on the
young,
beach
though.
and you're like, "Oh, I've got a phone call from my agent.
Who's this
Barcelona
phone
want you."
call?
Yeah.
You're like, "What? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go."
For a keeper, like
Yeah.
I'll win
You
the
go
league.
to your missus. I've got some good news. We're moving to Barcelona, and I'm going to earn probably £1 million. Do you want to go?
Yeah, yeah.
In
But he's
fact,
still
we're so
young,
wealthy that you don't even have to go.
That was stupid, innit?
watch that Chesney go to
Yeah,
Barcelona.
Barca have looked great under Flick. They unbeaten in the Liga still? They were last time I checked. They got beat. They won their first 7 in a row, didn't they? Yeah.
They were
looked-
flying,
They
though.
looked
They were
great.
flying.
You
And
know
they're
what
going
helps
to
us
get
now? We got someone over there that actually watches other football.
Yeah, watches
Osasuna.
other
He
league.
pulls us out the.
I would literally
fire
only
around.
watch Osasuna play football if they're playing against Chelsea. Literally only the only time. In fact, I actually saw them play on my stag do.
Who did they play?
Seville.
Chelsea.
I went to Seville versus Osasuna.
on the stag.
Yeah,
Who won?
0-0.
We had a stag yesterday. I'm finished, bro.
No.
Getting on that train this morning was horrible.
Yeah, you've done well.
Tough.
Lorenzo says San Siro's breaking down too much and redevelopment is expensive. AC and Inter are relocating, but thanks to a heritage law, San Siro can't be demolished due to its contribution to Italian history.
Beautiful.
I love
Beautiful.
that. I went to see Kendrick Lamar at the San Siro, and it was fucking
That's super
amazing.
random.
But have you seen Solomon Kalou score at the San Siro?
No.
There you go then. You haven't lived.
Ben,
seen Fabregas
basically,
do it, though.
this could be the tagline for our whole channel. It says, you lot sound like nostalgia merchants. I mean, is it your first time
I
here?
don't think it's true. I really don't think it's true.
Are you not entertained?
No, Rory. If you look in the dictionary at nostalgia merchants, our faces are there.
To be fair, to back it.
Speaking about Joshua Zirkzee.
No, but to back it, when we talked about Mount Rushmore earlier, and I said City have got to have a representative, 7 Premier Leagues, and you lot were like, no way, City in the Prem, they've won 7.
No, but my point is nobody. My
We're going
point
to have
is
three players and an asterisk.
my point is it doesn't need to be. Like if your belief is Mount Rushmore should be all Arsenal players or all Chelsea players or all Man United players, that's it. It's not. There has to be one Man United or one Arsenal. It doesn't have to be that.
No.
It's just the icons of the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had Scott's asked us twice now, so sorry for missing the first one, Scott.
Oh, that's poor form Mano.
Ooh,
It just went past him. Villa asking a few questions here. 8 minutes to go.
kind of need a clean sheet now.
I think a league versus league match would be good. Who wins out of Prem 11 versus La Liga 11?
Prem.
Now?
La Liga.
Of course,
Yeah, so
Prem.
current.
Oh, current.
Not all time.
Current is La Liga.
Mate, they wouldn't get. You could do an 11. You could do the best 11 players from the Premier League and the Liga, and the Liga player doesn't get in it.
But La Liga have got Real Madrid and they beat most teams in the Premier.
Yeah, Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Barca.
Vinicius gets in it.
Mbappe might get.
Who
it.
gets in the Prem 11?
It's
Vinicius?
definitely La Liga.
No, we got to do the other way
Vinicius
around.
and
We got to say who in the Prem gets into the Liga 11.
No.
Should we just simplify? It's Real Madrid with
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
Real
of Barca
Madrid, yeah,
players,
yeah.
and then it's
No,
like
no,
how
it's-
many City? What De Bruyne, Haaland?
Isn't it City's team
Saliba.
with probably Rudiger
No, you've lost your
and
mind.
Mbappe?
No, you've lost your mind.
Vinicius
It's
starts
the
on
other
the
way
left.
round.
In a Premier League all-star team, Vinicius would be the left winger.
Yeah, Vinicius
Okay.
and
Yeah,
Mbappe.
yeah.
Okay.
It's Real Madrid's team with Saliba, Haaland, and Kevin De Bruyne.
And then it's who you fancy better.
Yeah.
Do you
No, who's
prefer
in
Haaland
midfield?
or Mbappe?
Nah, not Kevin De Bruyne. Not this Kevin De Bruyne.
Who's doing?
Well, if he's fit.
I don't think you're going Modric now, are you?
No, because no, it's not this Kevin De Bruyne. Because
Bellingham.
It's
I'd have
Rodri.
Bellingham.
Rodri, Jude
Camavinga.
Bellingham, and someone else.
Is Bellingham better than Cole Palmer?
Okay,
The different
I'm serious.
positions. The different
I don't
positions.
No, but there's only room for so many players.
Casemiro's coming out for Manu.
Are we really comparing Cole Palmer to Jude Bellingham,
Yeah.
Mr. Clutch himself?
Just chill out.
Wait,
Yeah,
but-
definitely.
Who's
better.
Who's the Mr. Clutch?
Jude Bellingham.
Oh, so I thought you meant Palmer was the Mr.
No, I'm
Clutch.
talking about the guy who won.
I
the
think on
Champions
form,
League. The guy who.
purely on form in the last 18 months, Cole Palmer's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, of course. On form.
Purely on form.
Yes, but we're talking about the best 11, and I'm not going to discount what Jude Bellingham's done for Real Madrid,
Yeah.
winning them countless games in derbies as
But
well.
could they both be in it?
Yeah,
they
they
could
play
both be in
different
it, but I'm
positions.
not
Could it be
Jude
Rodri,
Bellingham,
Bellingham?
10 right wing versus
I'd
Better
go
say- better
Rodri,
say-
Bellingham. You've got Pedri.
Yeah, he's
You've got Erdegaard. You have got Zubamendi knocking about if you wanted to pick him.
not Zubi.
The thing,
I'd be torn between Odegaard.
KDB's a bit.
see, this is the thing, though. You know that Spanish team that won the European Cup? They were all playing for like Sociedad, weren't they? Like we don't know. Like we start going Zubamendi's in it, like because we.
Nah, I wouldn't put.
But there's
Zubi.
Lamine Yamal, isn't there? There's Nico Williams. There's
the front
Few
three.
players like
The
that.
front three would be Vinicius. Well, Haaland's got to be in it.
or Mbappe.
You have to have Haaland, Mbappe, Vinicius, and
Can't
maybe.
have both Haaland and Mbappe.
Well, it's just
You have to put
Got
Haaland in.
You can't have
Because
Vinicius.
then you drop in Vinicius and you play because you play Saka on the right.
yeah.
It's a mess.
Saka.
It's a mess.
Saka over Lamau.
At the moment.
Saka
Not
over
sure.
Salah.
Oh no.
No, Saka's in the
Sorry.
team. Saka's
Saka
definitely.
or Lamau.
On form, Saka's the best right winger
Yeah,
in the league
Saka's
right
in
now.
the team, yeah.
But Salah's better than Saka.
Yes.
Yeah, Salah's
yeah,
better.
yeah.
But Saka is better than Salah at the moment.
Yeah, on form.
Marginally though, because I think Salah's in good form.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
No, but
it's
very-
very
very-
close.
Saka's one of the best players in the league at the moment.
No, yeah, correct.
I don't think Salah's
Do you know?
at his.
He's got
at his
7
best.
assists, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Salah's not at his best.
Has he got 7 assists?
Yeah, he's got 7
in the
assists.
league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 goals.
Yeah.
7 assists.
It's
And
what do you do?
It's all
20?
those corners, man.
It's those corners, isn't it?
It's all those
Never know.
corners.
He's on track.
2 or
Although
3 from
you know
Gabriel.
Pogba one season he had like 6 after 3 games, and you thought, ooh,
Yeah, but
like,
3 of them were
yeah,
against
4 in a
Leeds
game,
first day of the
wasn't it?
season,
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
they?
yeah,
Three in a game.
Özil at one point had like 14 in December.
Who's got the record? Is it still
And didn't break
Fabregas?
it. No,
Henry, innit?
It's Henry and
Henry and De
Kevin
Bruyne, 20.
20 each.
No, Fabregas got 20 though.
No,
Must
No,
be.
he
no,
didn't.
no.
Are you
Oh,
sure?
oh,
No,
check.
It's
no.
definitely them.
I'm
two.
pretty
It's
sure.
De Bruyne
Henry
it's
and
De
Kevin
Bruyne
De
and
Bruyne.
Henry,
Doesn't
yeah.
Fabregas have the record for Premier League assists?
Nope.
The record for Premier League assists is Giggs
Giggs.
of all time.
Then
Is
it's,
it?
Then it's De Bruyne.
Wait, Fabregas definitely featured in it.
Fabregas
He's
is
up
third.
there.
I think he's third.
I know in one season.
I think
De Bruyne
Fabregas had a
just-
20 season.
Kevin De
Fabregas had
Bruyne?
a 20
Most Premier League assists in a season.
Henry and De
Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry are
20.
tied.
on 20.
Yes.
What's Fabregas?
Probably like 19 or 18 could be.
Kevin De Bruyne is also third with 18. Fabregas 18.
Yeah,
so
18.
He's sorry, second. It's joint second, isn't it?
Fabregas second, right?
De Bruyne got 18. Özil got 18. And that season, Giroud missed
So many
Yeah,
chances.
Yeah, Arsenal fans.
So
are-
many
Özil got about
chances.
25.
You
or
lot
so.
are killing Giroud.
So,
Arsenal
so
fans.
many chances.
Yeah.
Lampard's also got an 18.
Lampard got an 18. That, and bearing in mind, he would have scored 20 that
Yeah, that's
season.
Fabregas-
Fabregas also got a
He would
17.
have, scored, he would have, he would have got
insane.
18 assists and scored 20.
De Bruyne's got 2 16s. Cantona's got a 16.
Cantona 16 assists.
Cantona got 16
in a
assists.
season.
Crazy.
Hazard a 15. Sane a 15. Christian Eriksen.
I would have thought
15.
Hazard would have had a more. Like, I thought Hazard could have easily had a 17 or an 18.
always
Tissia had
been
a
the
season
thing
with
with
15.
Hazard.
Tissia.
McManaman had a season with 15. Solano, Beckham, Perez, David Silva.
Yeah, Perez, man. Yeah.
When you think about it, it doesn't sound like a lot of assists though.
It's
20.
assist every other game, man.
Yeah, but it's hard
No, so
because there's some great players that can't
one
even-
assist every other game is
Kevin De
It's good,
Bruyne is
isn't it?
4 of the top 10.
he?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's a monster, man. He's a monster.
only
Do you,
gonna
remember, do, you
keep getting them with
know, do you know what I
Haaland,
was talking about in the pub the other
Fabregas
day?
is 2 of the
Do,
top
do you know when we like this? I reckon
My favorite
is Kevin De Bruyne. Just to like understand how brilliant he was. I was talking about this. I went out for dinner with a few fellas the other night. Right, I forgot about this. The FA Cup final, Man City played Watford. I don't know why, but Kevin De Bruyne was on the bench. They brought him on. He scored, or he was involved in 4 goals or something, and got man of the match. He only came on at half time
time. Who's that? What
in
game?
an FA Cup final.
Boy, there's
Crazy.
been 13 minutes added on at Chelsea.
13.
1-3.
Still 1-1.
Yeah, we're into the third minute of injury time now.
Wow, 13 minutes.
do you know?
You
we like
time
to.
for Forest to hold
You know,
on.
we like to talk about Brentford on this show occasionally. I'm going to give
I mean,
them some
you like
positivity.
do, yeah, getting clipped up calling it a bus stop and that.
I
Did
don't
you
know
see
what
that?
you're
Yeah, it was
talking about.
disrespectful.
Disrespectful
Did
to
you?
the
They
I
establishment.
was
shouldn't
with you
clipped him.
when you said it.
They're blessed they've got this show. Giving them some content. No one else was watching. But Brentford have scored.
Brentford, I don't understand.
I know, no, it's not that.
Wait, is it like because it's Fulham and Brentford? They're kind of like similar level.
Brentford
Do you
just
feel like
annoy
they've
me.
come in? They've come
As a
in and
Fulham fan, they
jumped
just annoy me because they just act. They act like they're our rivals. We don't really care. They act like they should just be blessed to be in the Prem. And sometimes I feel like they just don't realise how lucky they are. They're
Wildly
like a
off
League One side.
topic. I've seen half of what's written on that tattoo, so I need to know what's on the rest of it. I can see never go to for advice.
Don't take criticism from people.
You would never go to for advice.
Yeah.
Did you get that on
Let me
particularly
see-
for this
mate,
show?
Mate,
Yeah, just Rory.
Never seen that?
Every time
Rory kept
Buvey's
trying to-
battering you,
Rory
you
kept
go.
trying to call me up. I'd be like, yeah.
mate, my mum has stuff like that written on cushions around her.
Have you got live, love, laugh on the other arm?
on the chair.
Oh, good.
There's going to be a substantial bit
And
of
you
added
know-
time here because he's sorting out his mic pack. or
What is
whatever.
going on here?
Oh, yeah.
It's Mike's gone.
This always happens.
Stinks,
Brentford
man.
have scored, had 5 goals in one game of football. You've scored 5 goals in 7 Premier League games.
What's all this about? What are you-
Do you not think that's a problem for United?
Well, you starting trouble with Adam.
He just brought out a stat out of nowhere.
Can we
to
not
kill
invite
you.
the
They
Fulham
showed
fan
it.
again, please?
Kill
What the
him.
fuck's going on here? Starting on
Manchester
Brentford,
United have
and it
scored-
switched to me.
Manchester United scored 5 goals in
a
7
crazy
Premier League
pivot.
games.
And guess what? We still beat you dickhead.
Yeah, you
I'm
might
beefing
have.
with Fulham
You're
fans
beefing
now.
with
like.
Fulham fans. You're
It's really
14th.
fucked.
You're 14th.
Who's your next game after this?
Of course we're above you, yeah. I think we're like 6th, mate.
Nah, Fulham's been doing all right, you know.
Let me
They should have
see.
got a result
Not
yesterday, man.
six, are
I
you?
think we are.
Who have you got next?
I've checked out.
it
I've already checked
international
out this
break, isn't
season.
it?
Yeah, I've
That's
already
how. That's
checked
how you know when you're finished as a fan. When you don't even know your next fixtures. When
This
you're,
is how I normally am by April.
oh, you got Brentford next.
You got Brentford
At
next.
home.
In Buemo.
6-pointer.
They'll score in the first minute. But do you not see, like goals? This is a problem for you, isn't it? Watching this is what
We
we
miss a
said,
lot
is
of chances.
You perform
Last
well. There's
season,
just
though,
no
we
real
weren't
chances.
scoring enough goals, but we weren't creating the chances. This season, statistically, we have been creating the chances. So you'd hope that they come. Ryan David says Salah has more goals and assists than Saka this season, lads.
That's fine. But Saka has been taking Arsenal out of the mud.
He's a better player, yeah, at the moment.
He's been doing great things this season for Arsenal Football Club. Him and Havertz, to be fair, those two have just been. He set up the goal. He set up the goal against.
This new Salah with
City-
the fade, though, is a different beast, isn't
The
it?
Set up the
quickest
goal against
hairline
Tottenham.
recovery of all time.
It might not be all
Salah's.
natural.
What's that?
But
Yeah,
have you
it's not-
seen
it's
them
not natural,
TikToks
but
when
you know
people,
you
like,
normally go
spray
in
it
and
on
it-
and that?
But that's what he's doing because you know a hairline thing takes like 6 months, doesn't it? But he's
People
just
like
come
put
back.
a
Yeah, his
thing there
hairline.
and then spray their hairline in.
And what? It makes it grow.
No, it just
Like
makes it,
fertilizer.
makes,
Just fills it in,
makes
fills in
it
the gaps.
dark.
Yeah, fills
so
in
you
the
can't
gaps.
see the gaps.
What? It's like paint. It's like
Yeah,
Tipex.
basically, yeah.
You'd think when it
that what
rained,
it
it
is?
would
Yeah.
be coming down his face.
It's
like,
called hairline
Yeah, it'd
enhancement.
be Rudy Giuliani.
Is that what people do?
Yeah.
Oh, do that? Is that what people do?
So if you get like a patch here or a patch here, it's like it's fading. You could just spray it, and it just makes it.
You
look
see
like it's
some
one
people
hairline.
go into the barbers with no
No
hair.
hairline.
They come out with a
Do you know?
beard.
I
Like
didn't-
Rick Ross's beard's fake. Do you know that?
Who?
Rick Ross.
Don't know who that is.
You do, man.
Officer
Bro,
Ricky.
you know all these rappers.
Not the real Rick
Sorry.
Ross, the fake Rick Ross, the rapper.
No
You
idea.
do, man.
Hustling.
No idea.
Rory, you do.
You
No
do know
idea.
Rick
I
Ross.
do know that Andros Townsend's hair is a tattoo.
That's what we said, like the spray. Like
No, it's a 3D tattoo.
there used to be this mental
What?
lady that lived around there.
3D
And
tattoo.
she had tattooed makeup.
When they get the eyebrows.
The
done.
eyebrows.
No, a full face of makeup.
That's
tattooed.
crazy.
Is it?
It's mental, yeah.
It's like Ashley Young. For years, we thought he just couldn't grow a hairline, and then he just came back out of nowhere.
That's rude, man.
He was bald for like
I know,
10
some
years.
people- why are you rocking around bald when you got a good hair?
Oh yeah, it's rude on him. Yeah,
Scott
of
Brown
course.
did that for Celtic, didn't he? And then he admitted.
No, but some people.
Scott
some
Brown
pe-
said it for Celtic, the captain. He was bald for his whole career, and then he's like retired, gone on a show, whatever it is up there, and he's like got a load of hair, and they're like, "What's that?" And he's like, "I just wanted to look hard,
Makes sense.
just shave my head."
Oh,
To be fair, he was double hard. Remember when Joey
Villa are
Barton
in here.
Oh,
my God.
Oh,
What a block by the low because the lip fell over.
I
there.
mean,
That
you
was
say
weird.
good block.
He should have scored.
Terrible.
He's got a whole goal to aim
He's
at.
got the whole goal. I mean, he's literally booted the ball straight into
Adam, you
the
got away
low.
with one there, Adam.
Look how unmarked he is.
How's the lip let that go through his legs?
Good block, though.
I mean, good block, but it's
was a
aimed.
good block.
It's aimed straight.
Why
at
did he
him.
try and tackle a
What's
rolling
the
ball?
Yeah, you just kick it away, lad.
Innit? He tried to tackle the ball.
He slide tackled a rolling
No
ball.
one.
Nobody's in possession of it. Why are you tackling it?
That's quite.
Yeah, it's
that's
Yo,
scary.
it's going off in the Chelsea game. There's been like 3 subs after that. There's been 3 yellow cards in the 90. Like,
What's
whoa.
happened?
4 yellow.
Oh my God, Man United.
Oh my
He's
God.
got to
Adam,
play him. He's got to
Switch
play
it.
Bruno Fernandes.
You got to switch it.
Fernandes
Bruno,
now.
switch it.
Fernandes.
Oh
Shit.
my God.
And that is why I feel sorry for Bruno Fernandes.
Is that Anthony?
No.
Nah, it was
Garnacho?
Garnacho. wasn't it?
Bad.
Man.
He needs to go in front of the player.
Garnacho.
He had to play it like.
Garnacho really.
Well, even
He's
now.
got to play it now. Like just
Nah,
over.
it's
Now,
too
but
early
you
now.
know what? If you play
No,
it now,
the keeper gets it if he played it there.
players lose their legs when
Yeah.
they get to the box. You know, when they start getting tired, they can't shoot no more.
Also, Garnacho's faster than Fernandes, isn't he? Maybe Garnacho should have taken on a bit more responsibility.
Who's been booked?
I think Matty Cash did well defensively as well.
Yeah, he did. Well, didn't
I'd love to be like Matty Cat. Like, can you imagine being that good at 2 sports? Like, you know the way I think Phil Neville.
What's his other sport?
Golf. He's good enough to be a professional golfer. Yeah, he's got like scratch.
No, that don't mean he's good enough to be pro though.
No, he is. He is good enough to be pro.
Really?
Matty Cash. Yeah. He's like
Michael
famously.
Jordan do that? No, that's baseball, isn't it?
Michael
Yeah,
Jordan
he
did
was-
it with
and he was
baseball.
terrible
Liam Botham.
at baseball.
Liam Botham did it with rugby union and cricket, I think.
Yeah, but there's a
obviously
thing with
Phil Neville. Phil Neville was a
Who was
professional
that
cricketer.
and Gary.
Dwayne Chambers.
Dwayne Chambers did it with American football.
Yeah, and then rugby.
Dwayne
league.
Chambers did it with him. Yeah. I saw-
Rugby league.
in Andrew Flintoff, you know Freddie Flintoff's book, when they ask him about how he became a cricketer, he says, "Well, the best thing that ever happened to my cricket career, was Phil Neville got a Man United
Scholarship.
offer because Phil Neville was the better cricketer than Freddie Flintoff." Yeah.
So was Gary Neville. Gary Neville had like a 186 run stand with Matthew Hayden, who became
Matthew
Australian
Hayden.
captain,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know if he was captain, but he definitely was
Yeah.
a key Australia player. But like, there's a picture of them two holding their bat in like the newspaper.
Really?
Because they were incredible in one game.
Must be amazing to be like that good. You're just a sportsman.
Neville must have been amazing, and their mother.
I know because Tracy
was a
Neville
netball-
played for England.
Yeah,
in
netball player. And she managed the England national team as well.
Yeah.
Then you look at Gary and Phil.
Yeah, Neville must have like super sperm.
We used to sing about him.
Yeah, Neville to Rebel.
He's a red,
Yeah.
he's a red, he's a red, Neville is a red. He touts tickets.
You good at golf? You good at golf?
No, terrible at golf.
Adam, golf?
Nah, you know what? I was gutted
John?
last year.
Yeah, I'm good at golf.
I paid for a 4-ball
Ish.
on Andy Cole's charity golf day.
Yeah, I remember this.
I remember you said this.
And then the people that were supposed to come with me who were really good golfers fell out of it. And I was like, I can't go now because I just don't know what I'm doing.
You
Yeah,
got to get
you
into
didn't
golf.
go?
I love it.
No, I didn't go.
Did you
But I
play?
mean, it was all
Do
for
it for the
charity
vibes.
anyway.
I've never been
Oh,
in
mate.
my life.
It's good. I beat James Alcott on Friday.
Is James good?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, James is handy.
How many holes? 18?
18, yeah.
I don't think I'm ready to
I don't- how'd you
accept
have that
golf
amount
as a
of time?
pastime. It feels like you accept age.
How long?
You accept your
No,
old.
it's a big
it's
step.
become incredibly young, hasn't
become
it?
really
Like,
trendy, man.
have you seen that
Really
YouTube
trendy.
channel that Sebastian Carmichael Brown and
Oh, yeah.
and
Seb.
Harry from the
Big
Sidemen?
wedge.
Is that what it's called?
Something like that. Big wedge. Yeah.
Mate,
It's on. It's
Sidemen
like
opened
a
a-
million views per video.
Mate, Bryson DeChambeau's.
I think Cal
you
Freeze
know
is involved.
the professional golfers who are on the tour
Yeah,
prioritize their
DeChambeau.
YouTube channels now as much. He's just someone with Trump. Just played at 18 holes
What?
with Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. He's on. It's amazing.
did you watch Trump on Field 1?
No, I watched a bit of
So
it, but I
good,
didn't
man.
see. I didn't.
Like,
I feel like when you
For the
see
record,
one,
I'd never vote for Trump, but he's fucking funny.
Well, I
man.
think
love
that
him.
when you watch one
I love
Trump
it.
video,
I
you've
love
seen
it.
them all. Like that's
It's
because I
hilarious,
watched
bro.
the Bryson one. And so he turns to Bryson DeChambeau, 2-time US Open champion, current world number 2. They're in the cart together, and you got all the Secret Service carts behind him. And then he goes to Bryson. He goes, "How many holes in one have you got?" And Bryson's like, "Oh, in my career." He's like, "Yeah." He's like 2. And then Trump's like, "I've got 8." Just
He's a
carries on
liar. He
driving.
lies about
He's
it.
like, "He's got 8 holes in one." He's like,
He takes shots off his record when
Yeah,
he's playing
100%.
and stuff. There's been reports of that.
Mate,
in
Villa on the
Mar-a-Lago.
attack here.
Let me ask
he's
you a question. Though,
so
John.
good.
What is like? Because I don't know anything about golf. What is the quickest time you could get around
In like a
Oh, hang on. But
number 6?
they're queuing up.
No, it's
It's
gone.
Terrible.
3.5, 3
That's
hours.
wasted.
That's a good
3.5,
time.
3 hours is quick.
But
Yeah,
is
it's
it
quick.
really based on time?
No, it's never based.
Because you
on
kind of
time.
staggered
Slower.
starts, don't
You
you?
can stop at the halfway and take a break, have a coffee.
Where did you play?
Pierford Lakes?
Where's that? Sorry.
At Woking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to play to just go because when I go on holiday, because I go to Portugal a lot and that. When we stay there, there's always a golf course nearby.
Mate, it's
I think
great.
There was a wicked golf course in DR when we went to
We're
Dominican
working
Republic.
with a brand that
Don't
takes
you
us
just-
out to
18
Portugal. It's
holes?
amazing. No, it's amazing. It's
But there
great.
must be something.
Just on a
in it.
walk with your mates.
I think you'd love it,
Mm.
Raw.
Just on a
You
walk
look
with your
like a
mates in the
golfer.
sun.
I think the fashion sense,
I like
like
swanning
everything-
about in all the
Yeah.
Pringle gear and that, but I don't think
Pringle gear.
Yeah.
0-0, it's
0-0.
full time.
What's going on at
0-0
Stamford Bridge?
between Manchester United
Oh, yeah,
and
what's the
Aston
score there?
Villa.
Can we
A
turn it?
stalemate.
Is it still going?
There's
Can we
been
turn the
2
channel
more
over?
players booked. Since the 89th
we might
minute,
be able
there's
to turn
been
the
1,
TV.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6
No,
bookings.
that's what I'm saying. We might be able to watch it. Ad.
It's not on.
6 bookings in
Are we
added
not on the
time.
telly?
Since the 89th minute, there's been
We're not on the
6
telly?
bookings.
No.
What's stupidness?
You're at 2 o'clock the same time as there's another game after this, isn't it?
Just remember, Man United are always the big story.
But you are when you're about to get your manager sacked, which is basically.
I mean, this game could have been a dead rubber and would be on telly.
yeah.
Manchester
You know
United
it.
moved from 14th to 14th in the league after
0-0.
that result.
Listen,
Is it?
It does a point keep Erik Ten Hag in a job.
I don't think this makes a difference to the decision that the
It's a good
board will
point.
make. Maybe it allows them to take some more time over it. Maybe it allows them to look at their options a little bit. Maybe they're not forced into rushing into a decision and making Ruud van Nistelrooy interim manager tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if this week their mind was made up.
What you think they know already?
Hmm.
You think they know?
I think they're waiting for the right man to come available.
But surely the right man is available if the wrong man is in the job.
No, but this kind of like 2 draws this week. The performances weren't great.
Yeah.
It was okay here. It weren't great. But it's almost like a stalemate, isn't it? Like they're left in a position where now they don't have to rush into a decision. I think if we would have lost today and performed badly, I think the board think, oh, we've got to make a decision now.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like neutralized now where they can go, I think they would have seen enough to go, I don't think this is our guy.
However, if they are deciding, Adam, if the board have decided that Erik Ten Hag has to go, now is the time to do it. Now's the time to get rid because you've got the international break. You've got a little bit of time, little bit of wiggle room. A new manager can come in. He doesn't have the baptism of fire by playing a Premier League game immediately. If you back him now, I think you then have to back him long haul.
Yeah.
Christmas, January. If you want to make a change before then, it has to be now.
I think you look at the fixtures. I think they could potentially look at the fixtures as well and go, we've got Brentford next and Fenerbahce and West Ham away, Leicester at home, Chelsea at home.
Nice fixtures.
Should be nice fixtures. It's not.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is go into that game against Brentford. You have a bad result after the international break, then it's, now we have to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But the board can't operate like fans, mate.
Did you see? No, I'm not saying
No,
they
but
are. I'm just saying that, because it's not such a furore now,
Yeah.
and maybe like the dressing room will settle a bit, everything will settle a bit. They don't have to be rushed into a decision.
Well, do you
But I
think
wouldn't
the
be
point
surprised if
here-
their decision was made.
A point here calms it down.
A point at Villa's not a bad result.
No,
like
it's
you
not.
guys
It's
were
It's a
saying.
good
earlier.
result. It's a good
It's
result.
not a bad result.
And also the manner of the
And the
performance
performance
wasn't
was
bad.
good.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't
You just
great, but it
didn't
wasn't
you
bad.
just didn't create enough. You just don't have that goal score. Like Højlund and Xerxes are not doing it, are they?
Not doing it.
They're just not doing it.
You'd like to think that the ownership. I think you're right. They have probably made their mind up already. They're just not going to.
Did you see Jim Ratcliffe's interview with BBC?
No.
Yeah, he said that but he wouldn't commit.
The question he was asked was, "Do you have faith in Erik Ten Hag?" And he said, "I don't want to answer that question,
Yeah.
but Erik Ten Hag's a nice guy." That says it all to me. Like that's
you've said
because
it
surely
without
you
saying
have to go.
Yeah. It's bad.
No, he's my guy. We give him a contract for a reason. Even if you don't mean it, you have to say that. And he kind of went, well, it's not my decision. We've brought footballing people in to make football decisions, so we're going to defer to that. It felt like a cop out of an answer. And they were there today. There's a meeting on Tuesday. I think it has been scheduled for a while, but there is a meeting on Tuesday. So if you're going to hear anything about a change in this window, it'll be then.
So So obviously, I personally think a new manager, if they do get rid of Ten Hag for the long run, is going to be Ruud van Nistelrooy. So
You think that'll be for the long run or for the short term?
I think it'll be for the long run, depending on how good he does. Because I think they can save some money now if he does good for the rest of the season. If you do get rid of Ten Hag now, so would you rather keep Ten Hag now and see how it goes for the rest of the season, or get rid of him and try Ruud van Nistelrooy and then get a new
The
manager
Ruud van
later on?
Nistelrooy option to me is only ever an interim option. I don't think that can be, an option where you go, the fans love him. There'll be a little bit of a spike in, mood amongst the fans because they just love the manager. Maybe there'll be a spike in performance and we'll use this to go and get a manager.
I think it's so obvious what has to happen at Manchester United now. It's so obvious. They either need to totally commit to Erik ten Hag. When I say totally commit, I do understand it's football and it moves very quickly. But they have to commit to the new year. So we're already in October, so it's not a huge commitment.
Yeah.
But you either make a massive definitive move now, you sack him, you move on, you use the international break to bring in a new manager, blood a new manager, and allow that new manager to find his rhythm, or you commit to him until the new year and you really give him time. There's no point in persevering with Ten Hag now for the international break, get beat by Brentford, first game off the international break, sacking Ten Hag.
Yeah.
That is just totally foolish.
I agree.
But also, if they do Van Nistelrooy, I think it's more of the same. To me, it's so obvious where they need to go. Do you know? I think you can only get the Manchester United job if I was involved in that board. If you had the ear of Omar Barada or anyone within the framework of the club, I think you just simply have to look at it and go, we've made so many mistakes. The answer,
I know it is.
you can't apply for the Manchester United job. You can't be interviewed for the Manchester United job unless you've got a European Cup to your name. That's what it needs to be. It's not Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy comes in, does well, put the contract down and sign it. It cannot be history repeating itself. It's basically, have you won a European Cup? If the answer is yes, we'll talk to you. So we'll talk to you, Thomas Tuchel.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good coach. It's going to work out for Manchester United, though.
I'd love Thomas Tuchel right now.
Yeah, but
I think he's the option for me.
It has to be someone with pedigree.
over Graham Potter.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah, because he's got Tommy Tuchel.
Oh my God!
No, but these are the names.
I know, Miles. I know, but it's mental, isn't it?
I said to you, Graham Potter shouldn't go nowhere near that Manchester United job, and you said because if he gets offered that big job, he should.
Mate, he should crawl to Old Trafford now.
Whoa. Wait,
no.
He gets
I think he should take it.
He should
get on his knees and crawl to Old Trafford right now.
I think he should run. He should run.
Yeah, run, crawl, whatever. But he has to take the job.
No.
Do you feel? What?
Bro.
I think that would, for the long run. Listen, he had a bad spell. He had a good spell at Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Chelsea. It was a bad spell. He's chilling out right now. He hasn't got a team right now. This Manchester United job, if he takes it now, is make or break for his whole career.
It's not though, because if he failed at United, he'd still get a job at West Ham. Or something, you know what I mean? It's still...
The Manchester United job would eat Graham Potter alive.
Yeah, it's too
It
big.
would eat him alive.
That's why I said he should run. Don't take
Run
that
away
job.
from the job.
Yeah,
You mean?
run
Sorry,
away
I couldn't tell what direction we were running in.
run.
We're
I'm saying
running.
he should run to... If Man United want him, run there now, bro.
You're saying he should go nowhere
Nowhere
near
near Manchester United. I
But
think
Miles, you can't turn down Man United. I know what you're
saying.
saying. I do understand why, but you don't get opportunities like being the manager of the biggest club in the country often.
But he's linked to England. So if he takes Manchester United and he fails miserably, and we all know what Manchester United fans are like right now, and if he gets a bad game,
But the Man United job's bigger than the England job.
But it depends. He's an Englishman, so he can consider that being.
No, but I'm an Englishman. I follow England. The Man United job is a big.
But as a manager, though, Roy, you remember he came from step football to go manage England. You understand, John? That is a great achievement, other than just Manchester United.
Basically,
I think he should
Miles,
leave
I
that.
disagree. I just think that the only way Manchester United get out of this rut is if they do something proper. Like, the managers that are around at the moment, whoever they are, I swear to you, okay, maybe the Champions League puts it into elite club. You have to have won a league. It doesn't matter where that league... You have to have won a league in the top 5 leagues. Yeah. Don't start talking to me about like Mulder or whatever. Like top 5 leagues. Top 5 leagues in Europe, you have to have won the league. Then you can go for the Manchester United. In fact, maybe it should be European Cup,
What
Maybe
about
you
Marco
need.
Silva?
He's wicked, isn't he?
Brilliant manager.
He's
Yeah.
wicked.
But I think
But he's not. He's not.
too much of a risk.
It can't be for Man United. They've done all these risks. It's like what I was saying for the chat. I know, look, it's working very well with Maresca, but what I wanted was just like proven, non-negotiable,
done now.
proven managers. Yeah. So I just
If
can't
I was
work
going to
this
take a
out.
risk, I know if you're going to take a risk,
Might as well
you
be
kind
Van
of go
Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy or Sebastian Hoeneß or someone like that that's doing great things at a smaller level. And I think Marco Silva has kind of taken some of those leaps and not done quite well. And he's found not his level. I think that's disrespectful, but I think he's found his comfort zone. Maybe similar to Unai Emery
Okay,
in that when he went to Arsenal, he was like, oh. But then when he just comes back down a little bit, he'll get those punching above their weight and playing at that top level. I do think if you're going to take a risk, maybe you go Ruud, you go Sebastian Hoeneß, you go someone like that. If you're not, you go Thomas Tuchel. I think that's the only name out there, unless Nagelsmann wants it,
that's about to say.
unless Poch, but Poch is at USA.
Nah,
I
he's
don't think
gone.
that's
He's
Nagelsmann is at Germany right now, right? He's a German manager.
He's a German manager.
German
yeah.
manager, right? Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Adam. Would you, if the club came out and said, you know what, we're going to get rid of Ten Hag and we're going to take a punt on Ruud van Nistelrooy for 18 months because the long term we want Nagelsmann, would you go with that? Even though it might be dire for 18 months. And you
So what
might-
was the first part of that? Sorry, I was reading the comment. Sorry.
So if the club came out and said, you know, we want Nagelsmann, but we're going to get rid of Ten Hag because we don't feel like
Yeah,
he's going in the
yeah,
right
yeah.
direction. We're going to keep the interim manager. We're going to keep Ruud van Nistelrooy for 18 months. It might not improve.
18 months is too long for an interim.
Mate, 18.
You get relegated in that time.
You're not
18
gonna get-
months.
but that's a bit-
No, but 18 months is a long... Because what, you're going to sack your interim after 12 months?
Yeah.
I don't
But
think an
it's-
interim...
but would you? But that's
Okay,
that's
6
the
months then,
hypothetical.
let's say, or
But
like to the end of the season.
The crazy
Because
thing
he'll
is,
be there till the World
we've got
Cup,
into a
right?
situation
Give it
now
Ruud to the
where
end of the
Manchester
season.
United now need to do something. They've almost boxed themselves into a really tricky position because they've missed the boat to sack him. If you're going to sack him, you sack him after Tottenham. If you're going to sack him, you sack him after the Brighton defeat. It's weird to now sack him off the back of Villa because everybody's kind of going, a point against Villa's good. So now what they need to do, I feel like they have no choice but to back him until the new year.
Yeah, they have to kind of
Back him until the new year.
Yeah.
But if it's wrong,
'Cause if he
that
got
is
done
another
today-
wasted season.
Someone says, why not Zidane? I just don't see Zidane ever taking...
No,
a Premier League
that,
job.
by the way,
Don't want it.
That's a
we
luxury
try.
manager.
What,
That's a luxury
in
manager.
the
for them.
conversation as well, I think what we were trying to do is kind of like have it at least as semi-realistic. Like there is literally nothing in it for Zinedine Zidane to manage Manchester United. There is nothing there for
Also,
him.
I don't think he wants to come to England.
Nah.
But I don't think he speaks English.
It's never been a kind of on the radar, has he?
The next job
Any-
for Zidane is probably the French manager.
one.
Or the
That's
Real
it.
Madrid job in 2 years.
Constantly-
That round. Like, you're
Constantly
Zinedine
linked with
Zidane,
Paris
it's a step-
Saint-Germain
like
as well,
Manchester
isn't it?
United, you can say this about very few people, but for Zinedine Zidane and what he's achieved with Real Madrid, it's
Yeah.
a step down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's better off staying retired
Yeah.
than going there and ruining his legacy because he would ruin a chance again.
Yeah, the only Zidane isn't.
He's just not in it.
Zidane isn't the right man either. I don't think.
Nah, he's not.
Like what?
It's a bunch of the German ones, isn't it? Your Tuchels, your Nagelsmanns, those kind
Got
of...
to be Tuchel.
do you know when we talk
me.
about it like this, it suddenly becomes a weird situation. When we start the conversation, I kind of go, Erik Ten Hag needs to be sacked. Manchester United need to move on from Ten Hag to have any chance of becoming the club that they want to be.
Yeah.
And then we talk about it, and I listen to you articulately telling me this should happen, and I listen to Adam telling me this should happen. And I kind of listen to it all, and I go, do I now think that they need to stick with Ten Hag? It's difficult, isn't it?
There's other options. Inzaghi's been spoken about a little bit. He's been doing relatively well. You got Kieran McKenna, who's been spoken
But
about.
you
as
can't
well.
go for the.
Very
Like,
early.
I mean it
I
with,
feel like
I
that
mean
could
it
be a
with
step
full
backwards.
respect, but you
Yeah.
cannot go for the. I know.
Maybe I'm just reiterating your point.
That's
when I
a
say
step
these
back.
names.
See, when you talk about it, when you look at the results and you look at what happened to Manchester United against Tottenham, Van de Ven driving through towards the Stretford end, you're like, he's got to lose his job. He's gone. He's gone. There's no way back from that result. That is his Vicarage Road. And then you discuss it and you go, okay, put some names on the table. Let's talk about it. And then you mention names, you mention names, you mention names. And you go, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they kind of have to give him till Christmas now. Because there's no point in bringing Van Nistelrooy in now. Or is there?
If I was to say the top 3 options, if Ten Hag was to be sacked...
No, but what about top
I'd
3
go-
options, including keeping Ten Hag as one of the options?
Okay, so Ten Hag,
Stays. That's
I
your
think
first
Van
choice.
Nistelrooy interim, Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Frank. I think those are genuinely... if we base our ideas of what the next Man United manager will be on the rumours and the talks from the summer, it seemed like those were the 3,
problem
right?
with Frank, I don't think you can go for Frank now because you spoke to Frank in the summer and you deduced, having spoken to him, that he wasn't good enough to manage your club.
Yeah.
We don't know how the conversations went, though, innit?
Well, it definitely went.
Yeah,
You're not our
they
manager.
didn't give him the job.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Like, they spoke to Tuchel, and they liked Tuchel.
Yeah.
It just
They
never
talked
The
never
Zerbi they
happened.
spoke to, didn't
It's
they?
about Gareth Southgate as well.
Oh
I'm not
my.
even trying to wind you up, but there's been.
I think David Ornstein rubbished that.
Did he?
He came out at the time and went, Gareth Southgate isn't a realistic option for Manchester United.
Right.
And when he said that, I was like,
Yeah.
thank God for that.
But it's so obvious. You know, sometimes when you're just like, that's just a terrible idea. That one is just a terrible idea. Like, that just can't happen. But I do think it's interesting that Ten Hag it's so fair and just for Ten Hag to lose his job. But then as soon as you explore it and you go, okay, who then? Suddenly it becomes really difficult. The only thing you can do, and I think a lot of Manchester United fans, certainly Manchester United fans online, what I've seen, they look exasperated. They're going, I don't care who it is,
Yeah, that's mental.
just not him.
That's
Yeah,
mental.
that's bad. But they can get it right.
But you know that mentality that I've felt like that before. You're like when at the end of Potter, I was just like, I don't care. Like, literally get this man out of the club. It can't be him. Which I know
I don't
is
feel that way about Ten Hag. Like, in an ideal world, he turns it around. But it's just, my feeling is this won't be turned around.
Do you know
and
what-
it's just a matter of time.
Do you know what this feels like, Adam? This feels like this next appointment is just as important as when you was gonna get a manager after Ferguson. I think you're at that point in your career.
I think they're more every time you have a failure, it gets more important.
Yeah, this,
Because you're getting further away from winning the league. You're getting further away from, eventually it'll be 20 years.
this
then
is make or not make. It could be make or
crazy,
break.
isn't it?
This is a very big appointment.
It's a really big decision for Ineos as well.
It's also they've also some would conclude, most I think would conclude that they messed up their first big decision, which was to sack him off the back of the FA Cup final.
The reason why I don't think they did was because it gives them a chance, because at that point in time, Barada, Ashworth, Wilcox, none of them were in place.
Yeah,
So to change the manager then, it would have basically been Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers and Brailsford.
yeah.
I think they kind of did the right thing in going, keep the guy in place at the moment, let's get our feet under the table and address things. I don't think that was a bad shout at all. I mean, I would have kept Ten Hag anyway. I said it before the cup final, and I'm still saying it now. You know what?
And do you know what? It's not a
Give him
bad
till
week.
Christmas.
You go away from home in Europe. I know off the back of what happened against Tottenham, you needed a win just to kind of make the statement.
Xabi Alonso's another name, sorry.
But you go away and win. You go away in Europe and win a game. It's a big win. It's not easy to go to Porto. You know, people go, "We got to win in Porto." No, you don't have to win in
We didn't
Porto.
win there.
Yeah,
You know who we got
exactly.
after Brentford?
Yeah,
Exactly.
beat us there.
Guess who we got after Brentford?
Newcastle or something.
Mr. Mourinho.
Fenerbahce.
Do you?
He'd love to get a Man United manager sacked.
Oh yes.
Oh,
He'd
that's a narrative.
fucking
Have
Have you got
love it.
Fenerbahce?
Love to get
That's
a result
interesting.
with that.
Is it away?
Away,
Ten Hag's European record is appalling as well.
Away
isn't
from
it?
home.
Away
guys.
from home.
Bad.
Dreadful.
It's
Huge. We should be live for that. Are we like we don't come? Should we do it?
No.
Should we do it for the fun of it? I'm quite up for it.
That'd be good.
Lads, should we all do it?
I thought
What do you
it was-
reckon?
yeah.
Do us a favour, comment. Would you watch if we do a Europa League Man United special stream?
Hey, why are you so
what do they
happy?
call
Turkish
that?
funeral.
Crisis.
Hold on a minute.
The war room.
Funeral.
Why are you so happy? You drew with 10 men Forest, bro.
Good point.
You had 20 minutes extra time.
Good point. Hey, don't you start to... Mate, where are you in the league? Look at that top half of the league table. Where are you?
I need binoculars.
I didn't even
for my
see you
view,
there. Is that Man United? Yeah, there we go. Mate, you need to worry about Brentford. You've got a 6-pointer coming up with them. If you beat them, you might go above them in the league.
If we beat them, we might get to keep their manager.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, people, to the OGs at home, thank you for tuning
Just
in.
before you wrap, I've got to interrupt. I'm so sorry. I've had a look. You know, I asked, is anybody up for this? Everybody's up for it. I think we're going to have to do it. Hussein, I actually think we're going to have to go live for the Man United Fenerbahce game. Fred hat-trick. Just Fred
you think of
plays.
all the-
Mate, this is going to be sensational.
Can you
Mate,
think of
everybody
all the
says
things
yes.
that
Hang on, are
Buvey
you
will
being
be trying to
serious?
say?
Were you actually... Okay, look, yes. Dave Cope says yes. Big Bow says yes. Mate, it literally... Hadi Mahmood says yes. Like, literally everybody.
I think I'm on holiday then.
No, mate, Hussein, put it in a diary. We're going to be live for Fenerbahce beating Man United to get Ten Hag sacked by Mourinho.
Jose
crazy, you know.
Mourinho giving it one of them.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Knee sliding through Ten Hag.
Post-match interview. I told you.
Although on the other
Coming
hand,
second for United was hard.
beating Mourinho would be so good. OGs, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. If we didn't read your super chats out, we do apologize. The conversation was flowing today. We tried to get through as many of them as possible. And I'll just chuck a few names out of people that we didn't read. Hari, Abil, N. Simons, Archie, Garbo, Staunton, Simon, Bewley, Josh King, Ribs, and LFC Rants. Thank you all for getting involved. Thank you. Sorry to anyone else that we missed. Thank you to Miles for joining us. Go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Go and check out World of JCC as well. Thank you to John. Got some pro club stuff coming up as well, haven't
We're
you?
going to get you guys in the room. We're going to do some pro clubs in the same room.
I'm so
filming
keen for that.
Videos as
Computer
well.
games. Can I come?
Yeah, you're coming.
Yeah, boy.
You're all there.
I'm
You're
in.
all there.
Can I?
And thank you to Rory as well. But yeah, see you soon.
Come on, Arsenal.
Nice one.